Yo, 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 welcome back to the Heavily Opinionated Podcast. It's your boy Jamel Kijana, aka Melly Mel, aka whatever you want to call me. And with me, I got.
It's your boy, Playboy Troy, the one, the only, the one that your mama love, the one that your grandma hate. Wait, let's redo that. That's not true. Your grandma love me, baby. How you doing, Melly Mel? How you doing, Melly Mel?
I was sitting here like, oh, I'm going to let him cook, but I'm like, damn, the grandma. I was like, hey, okay, hey, whatever you want to do. I'm good, man. I'm good. Who else I got with me here?
It's your boy Cooley High, do or die, Frank Mason. You know, I'm in the building. I'm ready to chop up with the people, and give them some of that good old fashioned wisdom as I do weekly. We
Most
here.
definitely. Yes, that's most definitely. We got a short roster. It's just the three of us here today, but we always gonna hold it down over here at Heavily Opinionated. So let's get straight into it. This past week, college football and NFL, man. A lot of now we starting to really get into this NFL season and college football season. The games are starting to get a little bit
3-0,
more
baby.
intense. All that.
3-0,
So
baby.
let's go over a couple of these college games,
3-0,
starting
baby.
off with the noon games, and we gonna definitely get into that game that had the East Coast up past their bedtime.
But it was actually nighttime over here.
Yeah, y'all was good over there, but people on the East Coast, I heard a lot of folks was not complaining, but just making jokes about it. Like, hey, yeah, that's part of it. That's how it was when I was growing up watching like Mark Sanchez and USC. I would be up way past my bedtime. You know what I'm saying? And Reggie Bush and them boys back then, I was like, yeah. Other than that, this is the last
That's
time I
some
really
Pac-10
would stay
games.
up. Yeah, I'm about to say this was okay. Maybe some of Oregon's games back in high school, they would keep me up
On
sometimes.
Pac-12.
But this was probably the first time I really stayed up to watch a Pac-12 game a little bit. I'm in a minute. I wouldn't. I watched a little bit of Caleb Williams last year to stay up, but they were blowing a lot of people out in the Pac-12. So that's just what they've been doing all season so far. But we'll get into it later. All right, so we started off. Penn State, Illinois. I tried to watch that, but they blew them out. It was Boston College almost upset Florida State, and if it wasn't for, I think it was a face mask when they were trying to like stop them on third down to get the ball back. Boston College, you got to be disciplined. You almost had a chance to upset them. And as a Florida fan, I would have liked to see that, but I'm not mad that Florida State's doing their thing. I can't hate on them this year. They doing that. I choose to hate on one team, either Georgia or Florida State. And this year, I gotta hate on Georgia more because I don't want them to complete the dynasty.
Well, brother, don't worry. I'm going to hate on Florida
They
State for
gotta
you.
hate, man. They
Yeah,
got to. They
you
got
can
no choice.
you can hate on Florida State for me too. Thank you,
got
since Miami fan over
They
there.
hate
So
on us because
Oh,
it's
yeah.
convenient. They
We
don't
still
hate on us
coming.
because they don't like us. They hate on us because it's convenient to do. It's
oh
okay.
Lord,
We
oh
accept
Lord.
it.
See?
Number
See?
one.
This is why we don't
I
allow
shouldn't have
Georgia.
said it.
This is why we don't allow Georgia people to win because they start doing this. They start turning
No
into Cowboy fans.
humbleness.
Yeah,
No, just
Now
be
we
they
humble.
start
humble
to
because
taste
we
gold.
play like we didn't play
Ridiculous.
our best this week.
Oh man, I wanted Spencer Rattler, however you pronounce it. I wanted him to go off, but
He a dog.
he
Shout
shit
out
the
him.
bed.
Shout out number 17. He's definitely a dog.
He shit the bed towards the end, and it was like, dang, bro. And then that defense just couldn't hold up against Georgia's run game. So yeah, Who else we got? Yeah, just some other beat ups. LSU handled them. This game right here, Alabama and South Florida. It was 10-3 for most of the fourth quarter. It wasn't until like the very end Alabama punched in a touchdown to seal the game. But they went through like three quarterbacks that game. They didn't play the brother who lost last week to Texas. They played some other guy. It was like Tyler Buchner or something. Then he got benched for another guy, and it's just, I'm like, man, this is the first time I've seen Alabama go through quarterbacks, but not because they were blowing a team out and wanted to give everyone PT. No, because they wasn't competing well enough. So I say this to ask y'all this quickly. Do y'all think it's over for Nick Saban?
It's looking spooky.
Yeah. Yep, it is.
I mean, I think Nick Saban probably got like, I want to say 2 more years. Because you really can't just get rid of him just because of what they had lost last year. And then, when the last time they won a chip? Like maybe 2 years ago?
Ooh, I think it was the year Devontae was there. The COVID year. They won it the COVID year with Mac Jones and Devontae. They beat Justin Fields, I think. Yeah, they beat Justin Fields. So
about
that was 2 seasons, and then the year after that was when they lost to Georgia, and then this past year is when Georgia won it. So yeah, uh,
so
that's
about
the
2 or 3 years now. So,
this would be his third
but that's the thing.
championship
You
away
don't
from
just
it.
get rid of him based off of that when you basically dominated for a whole decade.
Yeah, low key.
I would say give it. I'll probably say 2 more years, and especially if they're declining. If they're staying like at above level where they're always constantly in the playoff picture, then it's like okay, you know what? He always keeps them in there in that conversation. But if it gets to a point where like they're not even qualified for the playoffs no more, and they're just constantly losing or like getting on that steady streak of declining, then you go ahead and cut the ties. You don't wait
Yeah,
until the ship is already sank to get rid of them. Go ahead and
yeah.
get rid of them then, because
But
then
the question is, who can you get to replace? That's the thing. The guy you get to replace Nick Saban, whoo, he better be good. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
I was talking to
like
my dad a little minute ago, and he was saying Dabo Sweeney could be the only person because you think a lot of people like remind us. He reminded me that Dabo Sweeney went to Alabama. He played safety there or something like that. So he's like Dabo Sweeney could be the guy because Clemson they fell off. Trevor Lawrence left and they haven't recovered since. So I don't know. Maybe he could be the guy,
Trevor
but
Lawrence left
whoever
like
does
what 2 or 3 years ago too, ain't it?
exactly. But Clemson hasn't been doing anything since then.
Anything.
They've been losing. Their quarterback who they have replaced him, he plays right here at Oregon State, who I think is a sleeper team as well in the Pac-12. Oregon
Wow.
State, DJ Ugalele or something like that.
Yeah.
Another kid out of like he's either I know he's a Hawaiian, but I think he's from California. He's one of those California quarterbacks, which, as we noticed, California's producing a lot of quarterbacks. Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud. There's a bunch of them I can't name right now, but they're just doing they're doing a pretty good job right there in that state, producing some good quarterbacks. But yeah, Clemson lost that guy, and now they got some other guy starting who I don't know if he's going to be able to do it. So I think Clemson and Alabama are both going to be looking to sever ties soon because we had Alabama who
Yeah,
ran
for all great
the
dynasties, it must come an end. I'm looking at
exactly.
you, Nick Saban. I'm looking at you, Bill Belichick. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You
That's
cats
who I
had a
look
good
at it.
run. It was a
That's
good
how.
time. For Nick Saban, a lot of kids don't want to play for Nick Saban. Like he's losing. Like you know how every year he's like guaranteed. Like at one point, you know Alabama every year was guaranteed like the top 5 recruits in the country, wide out, quarterback, running back, they going to Bama. Like you already know. But these last couple of years, that hasn't been happening. They've been going to other schools. Um, so yeah, it's just an indicator to let the people out there know like it's not right now, but in the next, I give it the next 3 to 4 years.
Yep.
Mm.
Yeah, I
I
can
was
see it, man.
piggyback off of that. I know we're gonna talk about him later, but like I saw the 2025 #1 recruited quarterback literally just went and talked to Colorado. So now he's talking about looking into going to Colorado instead of back then when we was in high school, bro. If you was #1 in the quarterback and wide receiver, like Cooley was saying, bro, you already know they was already probably going to Alabama.
Hmm.
It was kind of already kind of set where it's like, bro, he's going to Alabama. And you know,
Without question, it wasn't
without
a
question,
question. It's like, oh yeah, he going to Bama. He going to either Bama, Florida, Texas, Georgia. Is
Ohio State.
Ohio.
Ohio State.
Ohio State, huge. Because look at how I think I saw something too. They said going into the NFL real quick, all three of Ohio State's past couple quarterbacks that are 0-2. I mean, like they're all Ohio State quarterbacks are 0-6 in the NFL right now. Justin Fields, C.J. Stroud, and Joe Burrow. Because a lot of people forget he was there for like 2 years or whatever. But yeah, that was just an interesting fact, which is something I always talk about. Ohio State quarterbacks they're rarely good in the NFL. They don't really have that much success. Excuse me. But yeah, they just rarely do. If it even goes back to JT Barrett, Cardell Jones, Troy Smith, who won the Heisman back in the day, like they just never really come to the NFL and succeed well. So but yeah, let's move on. Yeah, South Carolina and Georgia. That was how are you feeling about your team, Cooley, with that nail biting game they had?
So I already knew about number 17. I already knew the type of caliber of receiver that the South Carolina Gamecocks possess. So was I surprised about the happenings of that game? No, but is this a good the litmus test to say to indicate like where we're at as a football team? Yes. This was a wake up call. This was a wake up call. And it's inevitable. You know, we're number one in the country. We got a new quarterback. Everybody's gunning for us because we just won a championship. So we're gonna get everybody best shot. So this was a wake up call to the defense. This was a wake up call to that secondary. And you know, at the end of the day, we was able to skate because we go back to our bread and butter. Shout out Gunner, our bread and butter. The run game. You know, that was saved us.
Mm-hmm.
That's what cause we was able to keep that offense off the field. Cause that's a dangerous offense. That quarterback, do you have you know his name?
For South Carolina,
Yeah.
yeah, Spencer Rattler.
Yeah, Spencer Rattler, he's a very capable quarterback. He was throwing some dimes out there, so yeah, that's my synopsis on the Carolina and Georgia game. It was a
Yeah,
wake up call.
Yeah, it was, and I like
And I
Rattler.
seen it coming because you're not gonna go every week playing in the SEC and think you're just gonna run over teams.
Yeah.
You're gonna be a dogfight sometimes.
This even goes back to y'all last year or like just the previous years. Y'all always have that. When you play South Carolina, you guys usually play in week 3 early in the season. They might be the first team to like give you a little, they're the first team to kind of chin check you real quick. But
Yeah,
then you guys bounce back. And I've seen it happen like last year and the year before where it's like South Carolina you guys tend to pull away from that victory. They might give you a little bit of time, but
because them
it's
young
all
boys,
good.
so we done the true seniors and juniors done got drafted in the league. So these true freshmen, these sophomores, they got this state first real taste of SEC football. So that's all
That's
that
true.
was.
Yeah, you
Just
did. Yeah,
you
this was your
know,
first SEC match. That's true.
I would probably honestly if we play Florida, it probably wasn't the same way. It probably been a close game.
Yeah,
Um,
that's how it usually is. You
yeah,
know, no
probably
matter
two
how good, no
touchdown
matter how
victories.
bad we are, we can still keep it close with y'all.
Yeah,
You know,
so
every now and then it'll be a blowout on either end. Like one year, Florida might blow them out. The next year, or like another year later, 2 seasons later, or
only
something,
thing,
you
only
guys get the
thing
blowout. So
that was the only thing I'm gonna start worrying with, and I'm gonna start being concerned with Georgia is when, okay, next week, the secondary, our defense still struggling. Like we still getting, cause we went up against like I said that receiver, number 17. He's like that. So if we keep going down this trend of giving up 30, 40 points, it's like okay, yeah,
I think the only team that could beat Georgia so far that I've seen, I think Florida State. Florida State, I think, even though they had a
yeah, I
close
like
game
Florida
to
State.
Boston College, I think they have the potential with that
Yeah,
number 14
Florida State
receiver,
scary.
with that defense. I think they could really do something. Travis Hunter is a really good quarter. Not Travis Hunter. Travis? What's the guy's name? It's like Travis something. Jordan Travis. That's what it is. Jordan Travis. He's a great quarterback. I like how he's moving. He's about to surpass. He's about to break like the Florida State like touchdowns accounted for record, which is crazy considering the history of quarterbacks. Jameis Winston, EJ Manuel, was it Charlie Ward? Yeah, Charlie Ward, all them guys back in the day. So it's like they've always kept some pretty decent quarterbacks that can also move around too. So being able to break the responsible touchdown responsible for a record, that's something really great because he's been there for a few years. And speaking of quarterbacks that have been there for years, I'll go back to South Carolina, Spencer Rattler. I like him, and I saw him, and I'm like, this is
Yeah,
a
he's
lot of
nice,
growth from
bro.
his time at Oklahoma
Yeah, he's
because he
talented.
he got replaced by Caleb Williams when Caleb Williams had that 1 year at Oklahoma before going to USC. But then that's when Spencer Rattler was like, okay, I'm a dip because obviously I can't win. I can't keep the job here at Oklahoma. It's a new system. Everything was different. Caleb is starting to grow. And, that eventually becomes the Heisman. Like, you lost your job to the Heisman winner. So that's not like, you were bad. You just lost it to a guy who's going to be a generational talent, possibly, hopefully. So, in his move to South Carolina last year, it was quiet. A lot of people didn't remember him. It was also a team that people didn't see him going to. People thought he would go somewhere out west or somewhere in the Big Ten, but he came down to where the competition is the toughest, and he's responded really well. I think he'll do great in the NFL. A lot of people thought he would go years ago when he first started. They thought he was going to be like a one and done type of quarterback, but he's actually stayed and tried to get all his eligibility out the way so he can. And I think he's going to be a sleeper quarterback, maybe third or fourth round. But yeah, just
Yeah,
be
he
on the
definitely
lookout for
gonna
him
be a
though.
quality pickup for like anybody who needs a solid backup, third string, second string quarterback.
Yeah, I think he'll be nice. All
Yeah.
right, moving on. Some of these are all blowouts right here. Everybody kind of handled their business. I'm surprised Michigan State was like literally in the running for the playoffs. I think last year or the year before, and it's like, what happened?
Hey,
It's just
somebody
now
called
you.
Patrick. I think he said something about it's absolutely no way that Michigan State can do anything against Michigan.
Yeah,
So
he's not wrong about that. Just
there he
judging off
go. There go
this,
that proof.
a home game you get blown out for, and I get it. Washington is nice. Penix Jr., the brother they got at quarterback, he is nice. He's going to
They
do well in
dropped
the NFL
41 on
too.
them boys.
He's kind of like a Malik Willis type of quarterback, just at a better program. But
The Huskies,
dang,
okay.
they nice. They nice.
The
I
Huskies
like
nice-ish,
Washington.
okay.
That this Pac-12 is looking good before everybody, because now what's crazy is everyone's about to lead the Pac-12. USC's
Everybody
about
about
to
to leave the
leave.
Pac-12 because they said
UCLA's
the
about to leave.
Pac-12 didn't have no competition. And
And
they
now,
flunking dollars.
we can go through these rankings. That's one team ranked. UCLA, that's two teams ranked. Where USC, wherever they didn't play this week, they're ranked.
What
Utah's ranked.
Oregon doing? I think
Oregon,
Oregon
they're definitely ranked. They're number 10, and then
oh,
Colorado,
C1.
they're
Ooh.
ranked. So it's like, look at all these ranked teams in the Pac-12, but the majority of them are about to
No,
leave. And
Dion got the Pac-12 turned up.
yeah, now it's crazy. He's
Turned up.
he's gonna be the best team next year. He should be the best team in the Pac-12 because all these teams I just named
That's the title
are
of this
leaving.
episode. Pac-12 turned up. Thumbnail right
Yeah,
there. All the
that is a
different
nice one.
Pac-12 teams.
Yeah, the Pac-12 is really turned up this year. And next
Because
week,
Colorado State was very competitive, and I think Dion moving to the Pac-12 was kind of like a catalyst. Because now
yeah, I think Colorado State might move into because they're the MWC. They're the lower version of the Pac-12. They're not in there. Colorado State's a little bit lower. They're like with Boise State and like Wyoming and the teams out west that are not that good to compete in the Pac-12 just
they
yet.
out west,
You know what I'm
like in
saying?
Chicago. They not from the
What'd
O
you say,
block. They
Dodger?
from out west.
The nobody states.
Yeah, the nobody states, the Idahos. It's like the Colorado State ain't really. I wouldn't say I never knew of them.
It's the corn. It's the
Iowa,
corn farm.
with North
Conference.
Dakota, South Dakota. Shout out to all the fans out there. You know, your state ain't nobody. Come on.
Yeah,
y'all got cattle.
those
Y'all got good
schools.
cattle, man. Y'all got good cattle,
Yeah,
good grass,
and then so
good mountains.
But let's take it back to the South. We gotta talk about my Gators, man. We look so nice. The running game, Travis Etienne. Wait, no, this one's Trevor. Travis Etienne's little brother, Trevor, is our running back, and boy, that boy can run, bro. He was balling. The transfer quarterback we got from, I think he came from Wisconsin, some guy out the Midwest. He's been balling, doing pretty good. He's got that tenacity that I want to see out of a quarterback. He's got a nice deep ball. He's very smart with the football. You know, he doesn't do anything too risky.
This was a great win for y'all because Tennessee is nice. This was a quality win. Good job,
Tennessee
Gators.
moved into okay. You ain't got it. You don't do it like that. Good job. Like no, we ain't 3 years old now. But Tennessee.
Nah, this was a quality win because I like Tennessee. I thought Tennessee was gonna beat y'all.
I thought Tennessee could also be the only team that beats y'all this year, but obviously they're not.
The only thing I said, because me and the guy was talking about this, we was like, if Tennessee wins, that'd be a huge upset, because to us it was like Tennessee wasn't gonna win the swamp. They wasn't gonna win down there.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's the swamp.
That's all
and I'm looking at it
not
like
gonna win in the swamp.
That makes sense. Nah, that
they said they haven't since 2003. But then every time when it comes to Florida, they love to do that. Every time they be like, "Oh, this team hasn't beaten it." It's like, bro, you giving them that. Like it happens all the time with Kentucky. For some weird reason, every year we play Kentucky, there's some weird stat where they're like, "Oh, Kentucky hasn't beaten Florida." I'm like, no, they just beat us last week. I mean, last year. It's like, what are you doing? You're just giving more fuel to this team, making it think like, oh, y'all haven't beat Florida in this long. It's like, no, they have. They be beating us every now and then. So don't give them that. They make it seem like we just be dominating everybody except Georgia. And it's like, no, we be losing to, well, every once a year, we lose to either Carolina or Georgia. I mean, not Georgia, or Vanderbilt. Like, we F up on some of these teams every year. So it's like, stop doing that. You're just giving these teams more fuel. And that's what I thought was happening with Tennessee. It's like, don't do that. Because now they're going to come into the swamp and beat us and be like, oh, first time we won in 20 years. And it's like, no, I don't want to hear that. Like, you make it seem like we just blew it all away. But they played tough. I was questioning. There were a lot of calls were questionable. Even as a Florida fan, I was like, I don't know if you should have called that. But hey, I ain't mad at it. But also, I think the swamp also got to them when it came to pre-snap penalties. You know, a lot of people look at
it
get loud. It get crazy. And that's what I'm saying. Like, there is no place tougher to play than, I would say, Florida, LSU, Penn State. Trying to think of another place. I think, well, those will be my top three for now. I think Georgia gets rowdy, and Alabama.
Yeah, between the hedges.
Yeah,
if we get like a prime time like evening game, it get crazy.
Florida gets rowdy too, man. It's just different there, and it's not even about the amount of seats because Florida only has like 90,000 compared to like Michigan who has the 101,000. Ohio State got like 100,000. Penn State got 100, but those are the places. It's like, yeah, but they don't get as rowdy as 85,000 down south.
Man. This
it's just different. Yeah, you can have numbers. You can have the nice big stadium, but hey,
they tailgating. They all out. They making outside out the stadium. They making those outside the stadium. Like it's in the parking lot, tailgating inside. Man, it go down. Do your homework.
Shout out to Florida. We got to get the defense. The pass coverage got to get. We got beat on a lot of deep balls, and that's what kind of. I think all their 2 touchdowns came from deep. Came from deep passes. So we got to be more disciplined on that as we get into the thick of the SEC schedule. Scrolling down more, I thought this would have been more competitive. I don't know why I have faith in Georgia Tech. I just thought they would, but Ole Miss is doing their thing. Whatever.
They got a new head coach. So they got a whole different offense now. So
more of that option stuff that they used to do back in the day.
They going through growing pains. So lighten up on my yellow jackets.
Okay. Yeah, Michigan still hasn't played nobody. That's neither here nor there. Texas, I was okay. Early in the game, like in the fourth quarter, it was only like 10-17. Like I was looking at Texas like, bro, y'all just beat Alabama. Y'all better not lose to Wyoming the week after. But Ewers and the rest, and Worthy and the rest of the team, they got it together and ended up pulling away from that one. But we're gonna see. I think Texas is fraudulent. I'm just being honest. I really like the upset.
Yeah, they suspect. I don't trust them.
They suspect, man. They haven't really been. Trust Texas. They do this all the time. They'll get a really good season.
We blow Texas out. That's how much I don't trust Texas.
Oh yeah. Like Georgia, I said, the only teams I could see beat y'all, USC and Florida State. Because Caleb Williams is just that dude. And I think people still not giving him. I don't think people are still giving him the real credit because I think one, like I said, it's the Pac-12.
I haven't seen USC play, so I'm not going to speak on them.
They sometimes they be playing cupcake. They do play a little bit of cupcake, but I think he's just that good. And I think this year, we'll have to see. But all right, and now
I give it midway through the season, we'll know who's who.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, and speaking of, this coming week, we got Oregon and Colorado, which will be a great matchup. And then the week after that, we'll have USC and Colorado. So the Pac-12 going to have some great matchups. But then also this year, this week, we also do have Ohio State and Notre Dame. I don't want to give the Pac-12 too much attention because we do have some nice games over here on the East Coast or Midwest or whatever you want to call it. Notre Dame and Ohio State, that's going to be a great game that can impact the rankings.
Down the line. I don't know where this be coming from, but where is all this coming from to say that Notre Dame is a prevalent football?
They stay undefeated. They as an independent, you don't have a conference, so they just stay undefeated, and they always get their shot because as an independent, the only way you can make the playoffs is if you stay undefeated, and they somehow manage to stay undefeated playing.
Who you got winning this game?
Ohio State's been shaky, but when you have Marvin Harrison Jr., and Igupa, I don't want to mispronounce his name, but the number 2 guy at Ohio State as a receiver, it's going to be hard to lose that. I don't
So you
think
got
Notre Dame
Ohio
has the
State
safeties. Yes, I got Ohio. Well, hold on.
in the
Hold on.
story.
Let me see where the game is. Let me scroll down. Where is the
Notre
game
Dame
going to
out of
be
there.
at?
That's all I needed to know. Okay, Notre Dame is out of there.
The
Because it's
game
Notre
is.
Dame.
Oh, it's at Notre Dame. Ooh. And Notre Dame gets rowdy.
We have marched into Notre Dame and beat Notre Dame. Come
Well,
on,
that's y'all.
man.
That's y'all. That's Georgia. Y'all can
It's
do that.
Ohio State.
That was y'all championship year
They
2, I
got
think, when
Marvin
y'all did
Harris
it.
Jr. He's a dog. It's Ohio State.
But their quarterback, that guy that's replacing Stroud, he's a little bit suspect. But we're gonna have to see.
I give you that. It might be a shootout, but at the end of the day,
Yeah.
Ohio State gonna win.
It's gonna come down to the quarterbacking, because Marvin Harrison gonna get his 130. He gonna get his touchdown. Ibuka gonna get his like 75 or his 102. The receivers are gonna ball out. It's gonna be up to the quarterback's decision making down the stretch, because I think it'll be a close game. You know, because let's not let Notre Dame is solid. I like the brother they got coaching over there. He's keeping them grounded and keeping them well disciplined. But yeah, this is okay. We'll get into Colorado, then we can talk a little bit about next week's games, because we got some nice ones up here too. But yeah, let's get into it, man. How did y'all feel about that Colorado game? I watched.
3-0,
I'm not gonna sit here and lie. I watched since Florida was on, and then after that, I kind of just wanted to take a quick football break that I had been watching all day. I watched the 4th in overtime, I believe. Maybe the 3rd. I can't remember. I just remember watching like the last half of the game. So yeah,
Them boys came out to play, man. Them boys Colorado State wanted this game bad. They came out to play. And,
no, not the first half. No, because if they came out the first half, this wouldn't have been an overtime. This would have been a blowout.
Well,
Colorado came out real slow. They came out slow. Made a lot of sloppy plays, a lot of mistakes. Man, the wide receivers. I felt like the talk. It wasn't like the talk got to them. It was the tension. The tension was building so heavily, because before the game started up, they was about to fight during the pregame. They were gonna fight. So the whole entire time, it was like they was about to fight the whole entire game. Every moment was like a spark, or like there was added fuel to the fire.
It was a lot of energy in that stadium, and also it was a lot of extracurricular outside of the game, on the sideline. The whole coverage of it. It was just it got to a boiling point, and this game was sporadic. It had some up and downs.
I say Colorado.
And
You
they
could tell
really
Colorado
had to
State never had it like that though. You could tell Colorado State never had like a moment where it was this wasn't like a bowl game, but this was like their bowl game, because it was like, bro, it felt like Colorado unbrung everybody into the game, because it was like every minute it was an interview with Offset or interview with this person,
The Rock, Dwayne The Rock Johnson,
Lil Wayne, like it was a celebrities constantly on TV.
Key Glock, Kenny Money. They about the money on. They milking this game. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like it was split screen. It was like the game, and then it was a celebrity every single time. So
the whole thing.
Like for them, it was like, bro, this is like the biggest game for them, and it was like, damn, bro, you could tell like they never had that moment before.
And but leading up to the game throughout the week with the talk between the coaches, like it set the precedent for the atmosphere, how this game was gonna go. Like the players hearing all that. The players are watching everything we seeing, and they hearing their coach talk, and he thinking, man, I gotta like Colorado State, like, oh, we gotta defend my coach word, like what he say. We gotta back that up.
Yeah.
So you knew what was coming,
The words that he said wasn't that bad. It was the way I guess he stated it, because it was like he basically kind of talked about his mama, basically, which kind of made it personal, yeah. But then it's like,
what did he say about his mom?
No, he was just like, my mama raised me right to always talk to adults with my hat and my glasses off. And in my head, you basically kind of saying, you basically saying, like, if you're from the South, you basically saying, my mama raised me better than you. Basically, how it came off.
Yeah, I can see somebody taking it. Me personally,
that
if somebody, I'm about to say it could be taken that way. Me personally, if somebody is saying what they mama did, I don't always take it as, oh, well, you saying my mama don't? That's just me, but I could understand how somebody else does. That's just, because that's all everybody's personal, how they take things. So yeah, I could see that. And yeah, that is a little bit, it's irrelevant.
Yeah, it's irrelevant to the point where that's why I was like, yo, why he's talking about the hat and glasses. We're like, bro, you need to be talking about X's and O's. You need to be talking about like, okay, well, my quarterback, I believe in him, he gonna do this and this. Or like stuff like that. You can do that, but don't like you talking about stuff off the field. So it kind of instantly it was already Colorado is a big attraction already right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's gonna be distractions all around. But when you add on to that distraction, it's like, bruh, that ain't making it no better. So it's like the thing was Colorado had their focus was on winning the game, yes. But Colorado State ended up taking that focus off of that into we just want to fight. We want to beat y'all. That's all it was. It wasn't a play. It wasn't a play to win or lose. It was just, I just want to beat you. Either we gonna fight and I beat you then, or I'm gonna beat you in the game. So that's kind of how the president was kind of set. That was the move.
Yeah.
The feeling of that whole entire game. Because the whole time I'm watching the game, I'm like, bro, they about to break out into a fight soon.
Yeah, and that's how a lot of rivalry games tend to get, a lot of, especially when the rivalry is at a point where one team, because
I kind of see where it's going. Like the head coach feeling the type of way because it's prime time and he's who he is. He's flashy. He's unapologetic. He's about his business. He want to be the best. He's competing. So and he's he got that little swag about him. So you know how we do in this. You know how South people be, man.
He took over his whole state. That's the problem.
Yeah,
and so he
big mad, and also that energy is getting felt with his football team because they came out, going after folk, and you kind of it's.
I mean, I get what you're trying to say, because it's like, really, we talked about it offline and everything, but the Travis Hunter hit right was a big focal point of that game because it was like, bro, a lot of us have different opinions on it. Like I said, we talked about it offline and everything, but it was a big focal point and a big turning point of the game too, because it was kind of like that. I think that was like the peak of it all, because it was like, man, it's either they're gonna end up in a brawl or this gonna make Colorado State, well, not Colorado State, but Colorado better, because what happens is basically he gets hurt, and it's either A, they gonna fight each other, or B, Colorado's gonna be like, all right, we gotta have to win this game without Travis Hunter. We gonna have to tune them out and get locked back in, So that's kind of where that game was, and it kind of showed right there on TV. Well, that was the move, and that was the mood swings of the whole entire game. But overall, it was a great game. It was a nail biter to the very end. A lot of people, like myself, even thought it was gonna be a blowout, but it wasn't, which is good because I like good competition. I like good TV. So, and one thing for certain, I will tell you, primetime is all about the ratings. He's all about the money. So, like, hey man, I guarantee when the numbers finally come out, or the viewership and everything, I guarantee you everybody eyes was glued in on this game. No matter, even if it was 1:00 in the morning over there on the East Coast, it was everybody else glued in on that game. It was a phenomenal game. Sloppy play, but it got down to the very end, and that boy Shador came out with that Tom Brady move, like he said, straight from the 2, took it all the way down and led them through the overtime.
Yeah, that was a very impressive drive. He led that down to that team. So yeah, we'll definitely have to see about that.
Yeah, that boy Primetime not complaining about this game. That boy Primetime not complaining about them ratings either. You see all the commercials. You see him with Nick Saban.
Yeah, I see this man on TV a lot. I'm like, all right,
Primetime
guys.
about that
I don't care who you are. I get tired of seeing I got tired of seeing Shaq on TV. I get tired of seeing Nick Saban on TV. I'm like,
and I want to use this as a segue because what Najee was saying, like Travis Hunter, like Deion Sanderson, these boy got NIL deals. You don't think them
Mm-hmm.
kids know that? So yeah, them cheap shots that might just keep happening. You know, I'm gonna just leave that alone. But it was a great game.
Yep. Moving before we get up out of college football, we could talk quickly about some of these games coming up next week. We're gonna have Cincinnati's not who they used to be, so that game isn't too crazy. This one, you would have asked me 3 years ago, this would have been a great game, but I think Florida State is gonna manhandle them. Pause. Colorado, Oregon, like I said, that's gonna be a great afternoon game over here, noon game for the West Coast. This old-time rivalry right here. This might be Mississippi's year. It's been a while since they beat Bama, but we'll have to see. UCLA and Utah, that should be a nice game. Arkansas, LSU should be nice. Some of these, we're starting to get some more ranked matchups. You know what I'm saying? Texas and Baylor. This might be the game that Texas lose. But we'll just have to see.
Ooh.
How you guys feeling about some of these games coming up?
Alabama play Mississippi. Ooh, I think I like Mississippi for the upset.
It's in Alabama too, so that one might change things. Maybe.
Hey, keep your eye on that one. I just say that.
Yeah, that's the the afternoon CBS game too. That's gonna be the one they got.
I say the Ole Miss, Alabama, Colorado, Oregon. That's gonna be a game because I assume Oregon's gonna win that game. They should.
See, that's the thing. I'm looking at Colorado, and I'm looking at their three games they've won, and I'm like, okay, it's hard to make a decision because you beat the defending runner-ups, even though they were ranked 17. Because me personally, that's the lowest I've ever seen a team that just lost a national championship rank. Because I think the world kind of knew this was a Cinderella year. This was not, TCU is a really good team. They had a Cinderella year, and the rankings matched their favor. You know what I'm saying? Because they didn't even win their conference, but since the other teams ahead of them lost as well, they let them slide. So low-key TCU shouldn't have been in there, but since there was no other team after them that fully qualified, they got in. Well, I wouldn't say fully qualified. The teams after them had 2 losses, so they had to kind of let them in by default. But me personally, so I'm looking at that win like, okay, that was a great win, and it was at their home. And, I could judge the strength of that win at the end of the season based off TCU's record. Okay, then Nebraska. I don't count that. I count it because Nebraska's solid historically, but recently they haven't done anything. Then Colorado State, like I said, I don't even believe they're Pac-12. So the 3 wins have been solid wins. They've been close, but it's like, okay. But can you beat a number 10 Oregon who's a little bit different, who's a little bit more grounded and more solid and has a true identity right now? They've had the same quarterback for a minute. So it's like, we'll have to see. I don't want to just go ahead and say Oregon got the win. I think the only one I can say Colorado will lose to is USC and possibly Utah. Because we got to remind ourselves, Utah is really solid. Not saying that because they beat my Gators, but just watching them over the past couple of years, they were the only team that Caleb Williams couldn't beat last year. You know what I'm saying? They kept Caleb Williams at the playoffs. So I think Utah is solid. So I think those 2, I think they could beat Oregon. And this is coming from a person who's not really a fan of Colorado. So I don't know. We'll have to see about it.
They could beat Oregon, but I think it'll be a tough game.
As of right now,
it could go either way.
94% chance of winning. So
who?
Oregon has a 94% chance of winning.
We can't count that stuff.
I remember seeing
Tennessee had a huge chance of beating Florida this past Saturday. So
too is because these past 3 games. Yeah, I'm not gonna say I'm on the Colorado bandwagon.
You are.
I like supporting them. I support them, but
that's a band that you're on the bandwagon, Mr. Rouse.
Hey, no. Hold on, because I'm a Hurricane, but I'm like,
there you go,
good.
There you go.
But I'm happy. It's kind of like I'm in NBA. I'm a Miami Heat fan, but I do like the Kings. I like the Kings. I'm a fan of them.
Okay, I got you.
But for Colorado, I'm like, man, y'all barely getting by these teams, man. These have been kind of ugly. Ain't been no games where they like blew a team out, It's been like all the games have been, which could be, hey, it's them ratings, but they've been entertaining.
Oh yeah. It's all about ratings. I look at ESPN and I'm sitting here like, Florida, we just upset the number 11 team in the country, but everyone's worried about Colorado State. I'm like, man, what in the world? Like, come on now. Like, come on,
It's
ESPN,
all
show us
about the
some
entertainment,
love.
buddy. It's
Like,
about
bro, we played two ranked teams that are we did lose to Utah, but we lost by one possession. Utah, top 10 team at the time, beat Tennessee by 13, top
Yeah,
11, top
Tennessee was a
15 team.
quality
Like,
win.
come
That's
on,
what I was
Florida.
saying.
Florida has the
hey,
toughest
hey,
schedule
man.
Like
in the
y'all beat
country right now.
Mel,
Tennessee, y'all. That's a good win.
Mel,
Come on, bro.
you
Show us
talk.
some
You
love.
listen. You're talking to a Miami Heat fan where everybody like, we don't want to see them in the finals. They boring. Damn, damn,
Well,
y'all.
no. That's different. That's different.
Like,
That's different. We're not boring. Florida's not boring. It's different because it's like, okay, you're over skipping quality wins of a program, or just a quality win from a program that has had the toughest schedule so far. I don't think anybody after these first three games has played two ranked teams like that, like us. You know what I'm saying?
mm-hmm.
So it's like we don't get any attention, but a team that just so happens to have one of the most like prolific players of all time coaching them, that's playing it's a in-state rival, but outside of the in-state rivalry, it's a nobody school. So it's like they're playing them, and it's ahead, and it's like a very close game. It's like, come on now, show us some love. The only thing you show is the fight at the end when Buddy kept backing up and kept backing
Well,
up. It's like, show, you know what I'm saying? That was funny too. I
And
wish I could show that, but that was
Deion
funny.
son Sanders, son, man, you went outside, man. You were supposed to punch that boy in his chest, man. You went
I saw
outside,
he did
man.
something where he like poked somebody
he
in the
poked him
eye
in
or
the eye.
something like that. That's weird. I didn't
You
even
went
want to
out
talk about
bad,
that because that's a
man.
little bit too off the fieldish. But to me personally, where's the energy for that? Like, did he get flagged for it, or
I don't even know.
because that's a little bit, a lot of people talking about the hit on Travis Hunter. You know what I'm saying? And yes, that was an illegal hit. I think he should have been penalized. I'm not going to get into everything else about it, but it
But
was a
that's what
foot.
happened when you flash rollies in people's faces before the game. That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
and you're right, and I'm not justifying Colorado State's behavior, but when you kind of come with that energy, which is not something that's really done that much in the NFL. Well, then again, rivalry games, it does tend to get a little bit different.
No,
But when it comes
it
to
was chippy on
flashing,
both sides. Both sides was chippy. Both sides. It was
yeah,
weird to see somebody get poking them, like doing a poking in the eye.
that's crazy. Poking someone in the eye, that's low key. That's not the same as
But then I
of
don't. He didn't poke him in the eye. I think he did like you know, how, like you
he
poke.
put his hands in his face mask. I
Yeah,
saw that.
like you push somebody in the forehead. So he kind of did that, but because yes, he has to go through the hole where the eyes are at. I think he was going for the head, but yeah, it was still a crazy motion though.
Yeah, that's something NFL scouts are going to look at, and unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, because you know better. Because come on, poking somebody in the eye, that's a little bit like
Right,
you don't even.
that shit.
I never did
It's
that
gonna get
before.
brushed under the rug.
It will get brushed under the rug because of how because of who they are and where they're at, and that's good, but that maybe it just really depends on his play. That a lot of things, if you're good enough, those things could get brushed under the rug. Like if Baker Mayfield, when he was at Oklahoma, if he did that since he was so good. Because that's something Baker Mayfield, he's like that energy guy. He wants to get in your head. He does that type of stuff. So it's like,
getting
if
away
Baker
from
Mayfield that and won the game, you know what I'm saying, or continued to win that season, NFL scouts won't look at it. But if you continued to struggle, or if you had other incidents like that, and you kept having incidents where it's like, okay, you're getting too emotional, you're getting in everyone's face, you're ready to fight. It's like NFL scouts are going to look at that, especially as a brother.
That's the
I'm
thing.
just being honest.
That's why
It's unfortunate, but it's the reality.
That's why I said it's gonna get brushed under the rug because one, he doesn't get angry a lot. He's really cool and calm, collective all the time. So that's one thing, and he actually has been playing really good. So it's like
as long as he continues to play
well.
well and doesn't let that game, the emotions of that game, carry into other games, he'll be fine.
Really, if you watch the games, Colorado just do a lot of shootouts because their defense is just so iffy.
They don't have no defensive line.
Their defense is so iffy. They always get burnt on the back end because, like you said, they literally kept running the mesh route. And literally, that
was like, dude, you get sold on the same thing. This Madden plays, man.
So like, so it's really just their
bread and butter right there.
Yeah, their defense is just so iffy to the point where they offense have to do a shootout every single game.
Yeah, so we'll have to see about it. Yeah, we'll just have to see about that. But yeah, we can get up out of there with this college football talk real quick and dive into some other things.
Oh yeah.
All right. Now that we talked a little bit of college football, we could talk a little bit of NFL. We recording on a Monday. Usually, we record on a Sunday, but today everything's a little bit different. So now we got all the scores. We could talk about all the games real quickly. Just go through them. Any of the ones that you guys saw, the ones that you liked, the ones that you anything. First, I'm gonna start off Thursday night. My Eagles. I don't care if it was an ugly win. I don't care what people got to say. Jalen Hurts ain't throw for 200 yards yet, over 200. I don't care. We got the win, and
You
we
know,
are now
that ain't the talk.
establishing things. It is the talk. People are saying like, "Oh, he's not a top 5. He's not." It's like
That
The
boy
talk is
Jamel
about
paranoid,
the
ain't it?
talk is about the argument that happened on the sideline.
That's nothing. No. I don't know what you're delusional. They're best friends. It is fine. They are good. It wasn't even an argument. It was just more like he was frustrated he wasn't getting the ball, and that's more of an offensive thing. I mean, that's more of an offensive coordinator thing because even though the quarterback does make the decision, every play has a route that's like, this is the one. This is your first check. You know what I'm saying? If it's not there, then so it's like sometimes it's not always about the quarterback not throwing to you. It's also about the offensive coordinator not calling routes that are calling plays that have your route as the number one. So yeah, that's understandable. And it's also just sometimes it's just good defensive adjustment. They know, hey, we're gonna put our best one on AJ. So that and that just led room for more shots towards Devontae Smith. And the way Jalen looked and was reacting to it, it seemed very calm and very like, it'd be different if I saw more of like a like more nervous, or it just seemed like he was very aware of the situation and his frustration, and probably knew before AJ was frustrated. He probably knew because they boys, so he probably like, AJ probably gonna be pissed off. Like he know that. So to me, it didn't look like anything. And also to like after they talked about it, they said they good. You know what I'm saying? It's not really, I think they're good, man. But yeah, the one thing I
Hey
did want to
man,
talk. What?
if he don't get that ball like next week and them fantasy numbers show up again, okay.
I'm the one that got him on my fantasy team.
Yeah, I
I don't
know.
think he gonna sit there. I want to leave. This is his best team he's ever gonna be. Not ever gonna be on, but this is the best team he is on right now. I don't think he would
This
be.
is the
That would be
best team
delusional.
that he's gonna have a high chance of winning a Super Bowl with.
Yes, exactly. So I don't think he would even. I don't think 2 weeks of not getting the ball is gonna result in you saying I want to leave. I don't think he's that much of a. He's not a to. He's not a. No offense to to, but he's not like a. Not a sense that to did those type of things, but in its terms of like
Not
a
like you said,
diva
he not
type
a
of thing.
TO, he not a diva, he
Yeah, he's
not
not a diva.
Antonio
Yeah.
Brown.
Yeah, he's not Antonio. I should have used that one as a more relevant example. He's not going to be like that. I don't see that out of him. Maybe, you never know.
He
It
ain't
could
gonna
come
get
out.
toxic.
But I think we're good on that.
Nah, hey,
But
y'all had to. Hey, man,
and then if you watch the game, we threw him the ball.
I loved it, man. Shout out to the Eagles, man. Keep running the ball, DeAndre Swift, man. I
Oh
loved
yeah,
it,
we
man.
know you like that. You know that's your Georgia boy. That's your fantasy guy. He got you right.
That
I ain't
man
mad at
just
it.
started switching around that lineup. Don't even follow up with this man. Don't follow
Yeah,
up.
yeah. And the crazy thing is, he's probably not gonna get another game like that yet. Not saying he never will, but I'm saying not gonna get that next week. Because look at our rotation. Week 1, he didn't even get a touch. We let Gainwell get all the touches, but then Gainwell was hurt this week, so we let him and Boston Scott get the touches. So it's like we have 4 running backs that are solid. Boston Scott, I don't think he's a starter potential, but Gainwell, Swift, and Rashad Penny are all potential one backs in the NFL. So it's like when you have those 3 guys and then a solid number 4 as a backup, you can rotate all 3 of them as your number 1 throughout the season. That keeps them healthy, that keeps them fresh, and that keeps the defense on the heels. Because if you got one guy running back, like it's with Derrick Henry, I noticed that. What game? Who did they play against? The Chargers. It was like the Chargers. They weren't stopping up Derrick Henry, but they were like only letting him get 1 to 5 yard bursts. Like they weren't letting him break away because they knew how to contain him. Because it's like this is their run game. This is the only guy they're going to run with, so it's easier. So we just got that diverse running game, and then also even though Jalen couldn't get it going with his legs, you still gotta be wary of him. But
like you said, Jamel, and I like how you spoke on that point. All the top 5 running teams, they have multiple running back that can be one backs on any given Sunday on an NFL team. You got to have that good backup, somebody that could take the pressure off that one back, because especially throughout the duration of a season, man, them hits over and over again start to weigh on your back. You know, getting 20, you can't. It's not the old school days where you could do one back the whole season and get 30 carries every game. Man, these safeties, these middle linebackers, they built different nowadays. So it's no that old way of doing things is not conducive in this climate. You know what I'm saying? In this game today.
Yep, that's true. We'll have to see. But last thing about my Eagles, I did like defensively, Jalen Carter's popping up, and then the other last thing I'll say is the Jalen Hurts about how he's not over 200 yards. I think it's different because last year he had multiple games where he wasn't over 200 yards throwing. But since there wasn't that pressure or that expectation of, oh, you just went to the Super Bowl, you're a potential top five quarterback, yada, yada, yada. There wasn't that last year. But when you think of a top five quarterback, you think of a guy who's going to always throw for over 200. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's going to come with that different type of criticism. So I think that's also what that boils down to, because that's what I'm seeing more than I'm seeing about the A.J. Brown thing. I'm seeing more criticism on Jalen Hurts and his underperformance and more of his turnovers now. I'm like, okay, we'll see. Like, none of our starters, including the line on defense and offense, some of the defensive guys played in the preseason, but our offense, none of that first string played in the preseason. Even the Chiefs played Mahomes the last game or throughout the preseason. Like, most teams played as most teams usually do. I think we were the only team that played none of the starters on offense.
No, that's
throughout
not
the preseason.
true. The Falcons, we didn't play none of our starters for the first 4 games in the preseason, and that's why we're starting off
crazy. Exactly, and so that makes sense then.
Slow.
That makes sense then. That makes sense.
Because Desmond Ritter didn't throw for a lot of yards the first game, and it was the same thing. All the Falcon fans, people that watched the game, they're like, "Oh, he's struggling. He ain't throwing for all these yards." But he did. He made enough plays to win us the game.
Yeah,
but
when you
the
first
second
start
game,
off.
But in his second week against Green Bay, he throws over 200 yards, a touchdown passing, and a touchdown running the ball. And he only threw one pick. And I felt like, in your second game of the season, like, that's pretty good. So yeah, all the quarterbacks that haven't played and hadn't got them reps in the preseason, they're warming up now. So for all these new fans and these fanatics, I keep telling people about being a fanatic. You gotta understand how much it takes for you to be prepared to play this game. Like, I'm gonna give you an example. Caldwell Patterson, our third running back on the Falcons, he's coming back, but he's healthy. He can play now, but he's not going to play. He's inactive, and he will be inactive against Detroit this week because he still got to get conditioned. You got to work up to game speed. You know what I'm saying? So, and when you miss those preseason reps, that's significant. So, that's just a little insight to all the viewers out there.
Yeah, and also another thing about the preseason thing, it's like when you haven't played all preseason in your first game back, the last thing you want to do is try to throw crazy and then start throwing picks and lose the game. You want to play a little bit more conservative. You want to check it down more. You want to run the ball more. So that's one thing. But then you also have on the other side, you have rookie quarterbacks. Their first week, they're throwing 40 times. C.J. Stroud threw 40 times his first game. Anthony Richardson, he threw 40 times, something he never got to do at Florida. So it's like, it's the rookie. Bryce Young threw a plethora amount of times, which I can't wait to see him play tonight. That'll be nice against the Saints. But let's move on. Ravens and the Bengals. Man, Bengals, I don't know what's going on. A lot of people said they start off slow these past couple years. Me personally, I don't care how slow you start. The way they playing, garbage. I don't know what's going on. But Lamar's starting to cook again. It's glad to see him start moving around, running a little bit. Unfortunately, OBJ's hurt. I think J.K. Dobbins got hurt, or was it the other running back in week 1? One of the running backs. It's like, golly, they can't stay healthy. Ravens got to stay healthy. A lot of people picking them for the Super Bowl, but I'm like, they can't even last 3 weeks.
Zay Flowers, our only hope.
Zay Flowers. Oh my gosh, that guy's nice, but he can't be. He can't be your number one. He can't not be your number one. He can't be your only one.
I'm sick of this guy, man. He's so hyped, and every time he touches the field, he get hurt. He's unreliable. Where the dance moves at? I want to see dance moves in the end zone. I don't get none of that. And now he hurt. Second game of the season.
Crazy. I don't know.
Like I
OBJ,
said
man.
offline, he a old head still trying to be young. He got the yellow OBJ got the yellow tips and everything, but he got them glass ankles. Stay
Yeah, that's all it is, man.
young.
The man need to. It might be calling it soon with him, but yeah, we'll just have to see. And that was a divisional game too. That's 2 straight divisional losses for the Bengals, man. I'm gonna be
Yeah,
honest with
I
you.
was about to say the Bengals, man. They like the
They might
Ravens.
not.
The
Hey,
Ravens might be
man.
looking bad and they get hurting, but
The
man, the
Bengals,
Bengals
I
came
don't know
first.
what to call it with the Bengals because they offense inconsistent. They defense suspect. And YT Higgins dropped 30 points. Who told me that was gonna happen, man? But Jamal Chase get 10. I don't know what to call it, man. I don't know whether to start these folks or bench these folks. I don't know.
Yeah, fantasy. Oh my gosh,
It's
I don't
up
even
and
want to.
down with it.
They hurting me. I'm getting hurt.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, I got beef with the Falcons, so don't worry about that. I got beef with them.
Oh,
Oh
you got
Lord.
beef with us? It's
Yeah,
lit.
yeah, I got beef with the Falcons,
I
but
got beef with the Falcons too.
we'll
Oh
get.
Lord.
We
I'm
gonna get to
beefing with them
them.
too. I'm mad too.
Seahawks and the Lions. The Lions were so close. They came back. They kept them holding. I like some of the
This was good.
plays.
Yeah,
Jared
it
Goff
was good.
almost. They said he almost broke a record for like. He was like 40 passes away from the
Yeah,
most consecutive without a pick. I was like, okay, nice. I see you.
I think
Then you
it
throw a
was like
pick in the
third.
fourth quarter. Pick 6 at that. Whew,
They're saying like
that
he's
was
the
tough.
third with the third longest streak, and I think the
Yeah.
last person with that streak was Tom Brady.
Aaron. No, it was Aaron Rodgers
Aaron
with like
Rodgers.
400 something. Since
This was a
20, I
good
think they said
game though.
2013 or
It's not
something.
a it's a loss, but it's not bad for the Detroit Lions. I still like them because
Yeah, that's true.
Seattle
Yeah.
was good this year. Seattle will be good this year. Geno Smith, I like Geno Smith. That offense is good. They got a running game, and they got a decent defense that could get them through the season. So it's not a bad. I like that fact they was competitive. If they wasn't competitive, then I think something else. But it wasn't a bad loss.
I
But it
say
was a loss.
it wasn't a
Yeah,
bad.
non-divisional games that you took down to the wire, and 2 former playoff teams too from last year. So I think once they get into the divisional schedule, they're gonna get a lot scarier. So we'll just
Can
have
we
to see
start putting
about
some
it.
respect on that man, Jared Goff? No.
Oh
Can we?
yeah, I've always had respect for him. It was just a matter of can he
He
get it
really
done
had
in the
one
clutch?
bad season, really. 1 or 2 bad seasons in Los Angeles, and it was like, he just trash. He
Yeah,
useless.
because the whole team just went like their identity was not based off of
Yeah,
Gurley,
Detroit is good
but
this year.
it got fed through Gurley, and Cooper Cup wasn't who he was yet. So it's like they just didn't really, they just lost their identity. So
They did what most organizations do. They overreact and they sell you up a river, and then they get a whole new quarterback, and then they act like you never happened. That's what they do.
it's low key what happened the year before that. I mean, this past previous season with LA, they had a bad season and then shipped off one of their best defensive corners. They shipped off Rims. You couldn't do it with the cornerback because you just re-signed him after he got you a bowl. You couldn't do anything about Matt Stafford, but you went and drafted Stetson Bennett. You know what I'm saying? So it's like they really were ready to jump ship, but it's like they probably couldn't when it came to the quarterback, but they could when it came to the defense. So
Like
which
I
was kind of
tell,
weird to me.
it's the same thing with these young quarter. It's the same cycle. You gotta let the quarterback grow into his game, and then once he learn the playbook and he get familiar with the playbook, now he comfortable with play. He got more range and more he got more confidence to throw them balls. He trusts the routes. He trusts the progressions. He got more familiarity with these receivers. Cause now, this is like his third season playing with Detroit.
Yeah, third. This would be his third because Matt
Yeah, so
Stafford has 3.
he's finding his own now. So now you see it. But
Mm-hmm.
a lot of times these organizations, these head coaches, these coordinators, whoever making these decisions, front office people, they see he throwing the picks, and they overreact, and then they get rid of him, and they didn't give him a chance to settle in the offense. So he's settled. He's and they got a good running back in Gibbs, Jamae Gibbs. They got that wide receiver, Jude, St. Jude.
Oh yeah.
So
Amon-Ra, St. Brown. They still haven't even used the Williams guy yet from
it's coming
Alabama.
together. It's coming
Yeah,
together. And
and
the
then
fact he
Reynolds is
go toe to
balling
toe with
too.
Seattle. Seattle's good this year. They got Tyler. I got DK Metcalf healthy this year. Yeah, and they got a running game too. Seahawks are
I'm
good.
about to say,
So
I think Decaf got hurt. DK got hurt.
I can't
he
remember.
did.
They have a nice defense. They
He got
drafted that
hurt. He got hurt
corner
around the end of the game. I
out of
remember.
Illinois. They drafted Witherspoon. Then they had Wooten, and then they have Diggs. They got a nice corner core. So and the defensive line, Owusu or something like that, number 18 or
Yeah.
10 or something. He's nice. So their defense is solid. So it was a good win for them. And it just so happened to be Seattle got the ball first in overtime and scored. That's all it was. I'm pretty sure Detroit, if they had an opportunity, they would have scored too. So that's all it is. Colts and the Texans. I love Anthony Richardson, but damn, first two games and you get pulled out of both of them due to injuries. Like I know the second one was like on his. He had 2 early rushing touchdowns, and on the second one he got hit in the end zone, and that gave him a concussion. And then Gardner Minshew had to finish the game and get him the win. And I hope that's not the rest of his season where it's going to keep being. I hope not. I pray not, because it's like, dude.
And he had 2 running touchdowns before that.
Yeah, really early, like in the first quarter, and to the
Boy
point
don't
where
want to pass that ball. They don't. They be running the run. They
and
don't
he
run
did
the
though.
play.
He had, because like I said, his first game he threw 40 times. You know
Okay.
what I'm saying? He's a thrower. He likes to launch it down the field.
Oh yeah,
And
he can
even
throw,
his
but he got them legs too. But
yeah, and those both were on scramble. I think one
Can't
was a
take them
scramble
hits,
and one was the
man. You just
design.
can't take them hits like that. Like
But
that.
the thing is, the hit came after he was in the end zone. It was kind of, I wouldn't say it was a late hit, but it was like it wasn't like oh, you could have avoided that. It was that's just part of the game. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't nothing that it was like, oh, that's a hit it was low to the legs, or that's the ones that get QBs hurt, like Lamar with his leg. It was a concussion. It was the way he hit the ground on his head. It was a common football play. Whether he could have got that same injury just by getting sacked.
It could have happened.
Yeah, it could have happened to anybody.
Yeah.
That's just a hit that you could get, because a lot of guys, quarterbacks, they get concussions from also standing in the pocket and just getting hit from a sack. It was a concussion. It wasn't like a concussion can happen to any player. But like certain injuries happen to certain players.
I thought it was like one of the he got hit bad on the back end of a running play that he.
Nah. It was a rushing touchdown, and the guy that tackled him as he was going into the end zone, it was just the way he landed on his head. So I think he'll be good, and I think they're also just trying to play it safe. You know what I'm saying?
It's probably concussion protocol. He probably good by
and they probably realize it's the Texans. I think Gardner could finish this game. They were already up 14-0. The momentum was there, and they ended up winning. So the Texans did good though. CJ Stroud starting to look better. He just needs the O-line. Other than that, he's starting to get some chemistry.
It seems like Houston kind of got the same fucking problem they've had since Deshaun Watson, huh?
Yeah. I was about to say it's really the O-line, because he has a great receiver, Tank Dell, who went to Houston. I think he's a hometown kid, short, fast type of guy. You know, at Ohio State, he had the best receiving core in the nation. So you give him great receivers.
You could have the best quarterback. You could have a top 10 running back. If you can't control the line of scrimmage, with the Texans for the past 5 years can't control the line of scrimmage, you gonna keep losing. It's gonna keep being 31-20, and you gonna keep
getting
saying,
hurt.
"Hey man, I'm tired of getting beat."
Yep. That was unfortunate, but we'll have to see. All right, moving on. The Bucks and the Bears, man. Baker Mayfield. He won the game, but Justin Fields, man. I'm not one of the people that criticize him, but dang, down the stretch, man, you gotta perform a little bit better. Gotta get more clutch. So, y'all got anything to say about that game?
Man, why Patrick didn't start that boy Mike Evans, man? I'm mad, man, for him.
Ooh, Mike Evans did go off. I heard he went off.
Evans, boy, I'm scared of, man. When we play them,
he won somebody. I don't know. When
AJ Terrell might. Can't wait. AJ Terrell versus
that's gonna
Mike
be
Evans.
Nice.
I can't wait. That's all I got to say about that one.
Okay, Chiefs and Duval, man. I thought Trevor Lawrence was going to get it done, especially down the stretch. I thought he'd get that touchdown, but they just couldn't get it together. And
Patrick Mahomes been looking rocky, man.
The Great White Hope.
You think so?
To me, he has been looking rocky because I don't know what it is, man. It's like that when you constantly win a lot, right? Your team don't stay the same, and they make they make changes. And to me, it's like their team has made so many changes now to the point where it's like, okay, oh y'all, we lost Tyreek Hill, we can still win. Okay, good, but you lost so much on defense side too. So it's like y'all, like it's starting to both sides are getting affected to the point where now it's like, okay, the only real consistent person on that team right now is Patrick Mahomes because Kelsey is kind of hurt. He's been in and out hurt, so it's like there's no. I wouldn't say they're losing their identity, but they're losing. They're taking too many hits as of like losses wise of players. So that I guess to me it looks like Patrick Mahomes is kind of barely hanging on because like he's just like that team. He's keeping that team together. He's keeping them afloat, I guess.
I
So
see what you mean.
They
Because yeah,
gonna
I
keep
didn't
winning.
honestly, I didn't even know Kelsey was in the game until he had caught a nice pass. I said, "See, that's how much like the game, the team is really a little bit off because it was like it didn't seem like Kelsey was back the way
They
people
gonna
were
keep
saying."
Jose
winning,
ain't
but
gonna
they
like
gonna
to hear
win
that, but
ugly.
He
it's
ain't gonna like to hear
They
it. He's
gonna
not
win
gonna like to
ugly.
hear it. But don't get
The
me wrong,
ugly win.
he did have an impact. Him and Chris Jones did both have impact in that game. But just the way the rest of the team looked overall, it didn't seem like it was like a huge impact. They still look like they're still missing things and they're still not up to
They
par.
not a complete
Give credit to
team.
Jacksonville.
They got
yeah.
stars.
To me, it's like to me this game just like to me Jacksonville lost this game instead of the Chiefs won.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
same thing you could say about week one for the Chiefs. To me, it seemed like the Chiefs lost that game.
No, I gotta give Detroit their credit on that.
Yeah.
Nah,
No,
Detroit good.
I'll say, my bad.
Detroit won that
I'll
game.
fix it. To me, Detroit won that game. Detroit
Yeah.
won that game. This week,
And the
the
Chiefs lost. I think it's both.
The Jacksonville happened to lose this game. That's all it is. It didn't have really much to do with the Chiefs. It was just Jacksonville just lost the game. To me, this week that's how it looks. Like
Mm.
I don't know if it's they missing their identity or they're going through that slump of winning so much and now everybody's kind of getting not a big head, but we're getting to that point where now it happens.
They're
Your team,
getting comfortable.
yeah, your team lose a lot.
I think his receiving core is getting comfortable.
Your
Tony did play better. I liked how he played last night too. Not last night, yesterday. He played a little bit better. I was like, okay, good. He's not letting the noise get to him because that's my guy, Florida Gators. So I got to pull for him. But I always pull for my Gators. Anytime a Gators in the NFL, I'm always pull for them, no matter what team they are.
I
Because
do.
I don't. When it comes to NFL, like okay, with college football, like I said earlier, I can't stand Georgia, nor can I stand Florida State.
Let's go, baby.
But in the NFL, I don't really hate the Cowboys. I don't really hate the Giants. I don't really care about it. Like I'm just like, I don't really have an NFL team that I really am like, ugh. So it's like whenever one of my guys from the college is on one of those teams, I'm pulled for. Like the Cowboys have Malik Davis, one of the running backs from Florida, on their roster. They've yet to really use him, but when he does get his shine, if he does this year, I'm a pull for him. Even if it's against my Eagles, I'm gonna want him to go for 100 piece against us because I like him. I want him to get his recognition. So that's just me though. But yeah,
Yeah,
the
I think
Jaguars.
the Chiefs is still good, but um, I see them finishing like fourth or third in the AFC. I
I see
feel
what you
Miami
mean.
gonna finish one. I
Yes,
feel like
yes. We gonna talk
Miami
about
gonna
them.
finish one. I feel like then it's gonna be Baltimore, and then I feel like it's gonna be I gotta see. I'm still iffy on the Bills. I gotta see, man. But yeah,
Okay.
like I think the Chiefs gonna just keep winning, but they're gonna win ugly. It's gonna be a lot of close games. They're gonna lose some support. They're gonna get upset at like they're gonna lose some games. But it's gonna be some ugly wins too. So we gonna see who they play next.
Okay.
We know.
We're gonna have to see. But we can get into your team real quick.
Yeah.
Packers and the Falcons. That was a great game. I thought Jordan Love was about to ice it, but hey, their defense couldn't come up with the stops.
Man, I
They couldn't
told
stop
y'all,
Bijan. You
man.
can't stop
We
when you
got
got
defense.
Bijan Robinson, Drake London, Kyle Pitts, and then that other dude that showed up. I think he was like number 18.
We got
Ritter was hitting him on the deep ball.
Johnny Smith.
That
Jonathan
I was
Smith,
like, dude, they
Mac
look too
Hollins,
nice.
Kyle Pitts didn't really do nothing. Drake London,
Yeah, but
my
he
boy,
feeds
and then
attention.
B. John Robinson won. He the best player on the field. B. John Robinson, the best player on the field.
Low key. If not Kyle Pitts. Kyle Pitts also just draws attention. I think maybe him and Ritter just aren't on. I don't know, because I'm looking at because maybe I got Pitts on fantasy, so I'm sitting there like, dude, Kyle's open, but he's not throwing to him. I'm like, dang, come on, bro. So I don't know.
He gotta get more settled into the offense and be able to work them progressive. Kyle Pitts gonna get his shine, man. Kyle Pitts gonna get his shine. Drake London didn't catch no balls last week, and he got
Boy, you want to
6
talk about
catches.
pissed off? You want to talk about pissed
6
off?
catches.
Your running back. Why didn't get the ball?
Algier?
Why didn't get the ball to Algier, man? Why didn't get the ball to
Cause that
Algier?
boy B. John Robinson,
Oh
I'm
and
gonna
they
man.
were
tell you
just
something.
going with
Listen,
him.
I'm gonna tell you here, man.
I started him too. I started Tyler Algier too. He didn't do
I
nothing for
felt
me
bad
either.
about last week because last week I was like, man, he played good. You know, I'm gonna give him a chance. Why did I do that? Because in my second league, other than the one where we got, I started him and I lost this week by 5 points when I could have
Mm.
put in Zach Moss from the Colts in. Boy, Zach Moss had 20 points, and you telling me Algier give me 4.8 points? God, I was about to hop through the screen. I was about to fly away.
Mm.
I was gonna fly away to Atlanta just to beat up Algier, just to beat him up. I don't even
Oh
care that
man, I ain't
I don't
mad
You
even
at it.
gotta
care that
beat
they
up. You
won.
gotta beat up B. John Robinson, man. I'm
I
telling you,
was
that he
mad
beat
at
up
it
all
too. I
hell.
wanted ETN to go off because like I said earlier about college football, I keep bringing it back. His little brother went for 175. He had a Swift type of game for my Gators. So I'm like, okay, his brother is an hour away up in Jacksonville. He probably feeling that same energy. He about to go off against the Chiefs. Man gave me 6 points. I'm like, man, what in
Trash,
the world? I'm like, and 2 of the points came from just catching the
bro.
ball.
I about to get he about to get cut from my team. I'm done with him.
Oh yeah, the moves are getting
Oh, yeah.
made. Yeah, moves are
Who's
getting
gonna get
made.
made?
So, oh yeah, most definitely over here.
I'm
These
keeping
running
that
back,
boy Tyler
I like
Algier, man.
Damian
He's
Pierce
still
last
him.
year
He
for my
just
Texans. Not my Texans. I like Damian Pierce for the Texans last year. He balled out, but they didn't have a quarterback, so of course they was going to feed him the ball. Now this year, C.J. Stroud throw him 40 times in the first 2 games. I'm like, oh yeah, let me take him off. He ain't getting no touches then. I'm gonna go ahead and change that. So I get it. These moves got to get made, especially in the running game.
yeah, moves do have to be made.
I'm
I
telling
did
you,
add Gibbs. I added Gibbs from Detroit. So
Smart
you
move,
right now.
maybe depending on how they use them.
There's
I'm telling you now.
if the waiver's clear, there's gonna be a big name on the free agency coming up in our league soon.
Oh, okay,
I'm
okay.
telling you now.
Uh,
If the waiver
I'm gonna be
goes
on the
through,
lookout.
if it clears, there's gonna
I'm
be a
gonna
big
be
name
on the
coming on the
lookout.
free agency market soon in our fantasy league.
I'll definitely be on the lookout for that. Raiders and the Bills. It was a close game early on. Garoppolo played nice, but after that they couldn't really. In the Bills stadium, they just couldn't pull it together. Okay. Then we get through these last ones, then we can talk about tonight's games, the doubleheader. All right, Chargers and the Titans. I got Josh Herbert on my fantasy. Keep putting 300-yard games. I don't care if you lose. Just keep putting up good numbers, Justin Herbert. Everything else after that, don't care much. I was surprised
dang,
though. I thought they could pull away with it, but that overtime sometimes, man.
the
They didn't
Titans
have
are
Austin
still
Eckler
hanging
either. That didn't
around.
help.
They still
Mm.
hanging around. So it was a good close game. It's been a lot of close games.
Yeah, 2 overtimes yesterday, and
Mm-hmm.
then a lot of them decided within that one 2 points, that one possession, that one possession. Then what was the one up here? That was the overtime. This was technically one possession, even though it was garbage touchdowns. They got 3 points. Where's the other one? Oh yeah, 1 point for y'all. So it was a lot of close games this week. This one, the Rams might be back, guys. The Rams might be back. I can't remember if they beat the Seahawks though. Did they beat the Seahawks last week? Let me
Yes. I want
see.
to say yes.
No, they lost. They lost. They lost. Oh wait, no, they did because this was their loss. So they beat the Seahawks last week. So they're 1-1 because that's 2 straight divisional games back to back. The Rams and then the Niners. So it was a close game, man. I like the way they
Yeah, Matthew Stafford is good this year. Like he's playing.
Yeah, they back. And then Cooper Cup, they said he'll be back for week 5, hopefully. So, and they was moving the ball nice, still doing their thing. The defense was still looking. They did what they could. Yeah, but the 49ers, hey, when you got Debo, McCaffrey, and Ayuk, that's unstoppable a little bit. 3 guys that could just move around. You got to track them. You know what I'm saying? They can play anywhere. Well, not Ayuk. He's not in the backfield, but, just across the field when it comes to like sideline, slot, any of that. You can put them anywhere. So, yeah, that was interesting. Giants and the Cardinals. Boy, it looked like the Giants was about to get blown out 2 straight weeks in a row. Boy, I was like, yo, that I am worried, but it's the Cardinals. That's all I gotta say.
They ain't got no real hope right now.
Yeah, Josh Dobbs ain't
the Cardinals have become. Really? They ever been on top of the NFL?
No.
Where it's like,
no,
they just such a threat. I think the only last
they've had great
only
years.
time we think they was a threat, Kurt Warner, I guess. That's it. That's the last time. We don't really care about anything they do. No one cares. They're in that world with like the Commanders. They're in that section.
Yeah, they can upset you, and they might make a playoff run. But after that, we don't expect them to be back next year.
Do something like the Panthers. They're in that. The Panthers in that category.
Mm-hmm.
The Texans.
Yep.
Like all.
That's
that whole. There's a whole section of the NFL where it's like these teams they might upset you, but we know they're not really a threat to anybody.
Definitely the Broncos.
The Broncos.
Ooh, we got to get into them. Jets and the Cowboys. I think we can go straight to the Broncos because what we expect out of that.
Defense,
sorry, Zach Wilson,
defense, baby.
What, Dallas?
Yeah. Dallas, that defense.
Okay,
they got the number 1 defense in the league.
Well, we're 2 weeks in. They played 2 trash New York teams.
And that's all we need.
They haven't even brought it. They've played the same city. They've just beaten up on a city for the past 2 weeks.
If you mess around, I might
New York
have to get
taking
a jersey.
Hey, New York jersey.
No, stop. Now, why would you say that? Yeah. That's why.
Yeah, might give me with number 11. Is that Micah Parsons? I might have to give me one of those.
Yeah, he's nice. I like how they moving him around more. I saw him right above the center. I'm like, okay,
I'm coming. I might be like DJ Rose. I might be hopping teams just with the defense. Nah, I'm kidding. I'm fit.
That's crazy. You hopping just for the D?
No, that's wild.
Yo,
that's
wild.
Hey, yo.
That's what you said. I just said it in a more condensed version.
Hopping for the D to
like
the big D.
Hey, yo, pause, B.
Hey. No, I'm playing with the Panthers, but the Cowboys defense is carrying my fantasy team, so that's good.
Oh, okay, that's why. That makes more sense. Because I'm saying, like, bro, where is this coming from? And I'm like, okay, that makes more sense. Defense. Okay, that's valid. All right. Yeah, Broncos and Commanders. God dang, Russell Wilson. I thought they had it together. I was like, okay, Sean Payton. But then I'm like, okay, but that was it, though. So I wasn't too sold onto it.
On the Washington Commanders receiving core. Do your homework.
Scary Terry. What's his name? Scary Terry? Yeah,
Scary Terry. Dotson.
Scary Terry.
Do your homework.
You're right, Dotson. They did draft Dotson, yeah. And then Robinson. I like their running back. He's nice.
Yeah,
I wouldn't. Yeah, just Yeah, he's going to be on somebody's fantasy team, but I know this because I just have insight. I don't know whose, but I just have some insight on whose fantasy team he might be on soon because he produced. And I forgot last year he produced pretty well too. That man, that's the many man dude, the man who had I think he got shot at the beginning of last season. So he's got some adversity. He plays differently now because before then he wasn't really, I didn't hear much about him. But after that situation and then him coming back, like a few weeks after that, ready to go, he plays like I ain't got nothing to lose, man. Shoot, the man almost lost his life, so he gonna play differently.
Man playing like 50 Cent.
Yeah, that's what they call it. They said he comes out to that song all the time, so I'm like, okay, that's interesting. Yeah, Or I think somebody just like put. I think somebody did like an edit with that song over him coming out the arena or something like that. I'm like, okay, but yeah, the Broncos fumbled the bag, man. This is questionable. They got the Hail Mary. The Hail Mary was beautiful, nice thrown ball, nice tip, nice catch. Then they just needed the 2 point. Me personally, it was a little bit of a PI that I saw, but hey, the rest were like, hey, we gotta let that play, gotta let them play. But yeah, it was just unfortunate. And it's like, dang, I think I heard Shannon Sharp with him and Ocho. They do like a what do you call it? Like a recap Sunday nights or something. They were talking about what happens. No, it wasn't Sunday night. It was the Vikings game. They did it that night. They do it Sunday nights too or whatever. But he was saying the Vikings are 0-2. When you start off 0-2, just to get to 500, you got to go through the core of your season already. So I'm like, ooh, that's an interesting way of looking at it. So with the Broncos, you're already in a tough division with the Chargers and the Chiefs. I wouldn't worry too much about the Raiders, even though you did lose to them week 1. So it's like just to get back to
Don't worry,
500.
Denver. Y'all just gonna keep losing. Y'all gonna get 2 more losses from the Chargers. Y'all gonna get 2 more losses from the Chiefs. So y'all might
Yeah,
upset one of them. Y'all might, if y'all can split. If the
I
Broncos
think
can
the
split,
Raiders. I think
you
they'll
say
split
you
with the Raiders.
Raiders,
Yeah, they'll split with the Raiders.
but you don't see them splitting with the Chargers
Definitely not the Chiefs.
or the Chiefs.
Raiders, yes. Chargers, maybe if they're full. If they're Chargers, it depends on when they play the Chargers and who like the Chargers just played. I would have to look into more details
Okay.
about that Charger game. But then, so it's like a yes for the Raiders, a maybe, or a depending with the Chargers, and a no for the Chiefs. They losing both of those games. Sorry, Russ. But
I just think they
yeah.
gotta like, I don't know what it is. They just find ways to lose because
Mm-hmm.
they got Russell Wilson. They got a good receive. They got good receivers. They defense is they defense. Yeah,
Yeah, we'll have to see. We will have to
they just
see.
find ways to.
Najee, now we got to get into it. Your team last night. I watched the game, but I was playing the game a little bit, so I got a little bit
Najee
distracted.
know what's going on with this game.
Yeah.
He
What
said this
happened,
before it
man?
even started.
What?
Basically, how I want to put it is, we are offensively, we can't find the end zone, man. We can't find the end zone. And then on the back end of that, when we finally started, because Miami was struggling too offensively, but we couldn't stop the run game. We couldn't stop it at all. But they couldn't pass the ball on us. And the problem was, man, we just offensively, we're kind of useless on offense. Uh, we're not gonna be able to get into a shootout. And I already expected us to lose. Like I said before, man, the Dolphins just always beats us, no matter what. Even when we had Tom Brady, we always lose to the Dolphins for some odd reason. Like anytime we was on a part of, like, if we were gonna have a historic season, and if we have Miami at the end of our season, we were gonna lose to them
If y'all go to
every time.
Miami, every year y'all went to Miami. Every year y'all went to South Beach.
We always lose to them, and it's like, I don't know what it is that what they do to like just get to us, but we always lose to them. But last night game,
That's that
we just could
voodoo.
not do
Them
anything.
Haitians.
We couldn't do nothing offensively. It was all that was all defense,
I'm telling you, them Zoe Pound. That's Zoe Pound.
bruh. But I expect this. I
I
think
hope y'all not eating the food when y'all go down
we
there.
got the third hardest schedule. We ain't gonna it ain't gonna get easier for us. Um, we shit. It'll be a blessing.
And y'all gotta play Miami
It'll be a
again.
blessing to get one
In
game.
Miami, you just so
It
happened to
might.
lose at home
I
too. That
say
didn't
it'll be,
help.
like I said, it'll be a blessing to get one game over 500. But I don't even see that sometimes. And
Oh no, y'all should be good.
Y'all was
Y'all get over
y'all
500.
was rallying, but then y'all couldn't get into
yeah,
the end zone because of that boy Xavier Howard. He was shutting the door.
he got that. No, he got that
Oh,
one
okay.
pick at the end. Yeah, but other than Xavier, really, he was the person that shut the door and kept opening the door, because he was getting flags on him on
Mm.
himself on random plays, like he's
Mm.
holding down.
Was Ramsey back yet or no?
No, I don't think so. Because the whole
Okay.
entire time he's
Yeah.
targeting Howard the whole time. So majority of the time we was targeting him. So like I said,
Bruh,
we couldn't also
Tyreek balled out though. This crazy thing, we was on Heavily Opinionated, y'all. We was talking last night about, okay, let's record Monday. And then he was like, Najee was like, why don't you want to see Tyreek get a touchdown? I was like, no, I don't want, because I'm going against Najee this week. So I'm like, and he got Tyreek. I'm like, no, I don't want to see it. The moment we hang up, this man Tyreek's
gets a
touchdown. I'm
touchdown.
like,
And I
bro,
said that too. I was like, damn, I'm good.
I was like, bruh, why? It
I
was
was like,
crazy, man. But
He
Tua
said, "Why
balled out though.
Tyreek Hill can't get a touchdown?"
man.
I said Jalen Waddle, let him get one, or
No,
somebody else.
man, they had Jalen Waddle
Mostert.
really on lock majority of the whole entire time.
He did what he needed to do. He got
Yeah, I was about to say, the crazy thing, since I was playing the game, I wasn't paying too much attention. Every time I did look, I was seeing more Jalen Waddle. I saw a little bit of Tyreek. I saw the
It knocked
touchdown, and I
him
saw
out
like
the
a deep
game.
ball. Oh, Lord, they put the Travis Hunter on him.
They did
Yeah,
hit him.
they
No,
put that
okay,
boy
okay.
down.
That play was, and I see why Bill was upset about it, because they knocked the ball out of his hands, and the defender was coming. Like, if from the angle you could see the defender coming, but you can't tell if he has the ball or not. So when Waddle comes down, he just gets hit without the ball, and they're like, "That's a personal foul." That's when I'm in my mind. I'm like, "Man, this is a Jamel play right here." Like, bro, like how,
What?
like y'all gonna call a personal foul on something that, like, that's something that's going to happen in football. You're going to get hit
How was that my play?
because you were
What do you
saying
mean?
how Travis Hunter got hit, and that's a football. Like you don't like the personal call, and
Oh,
that's
yeah,
how
yeah,
I
yeah,
felt
yeah, yeah,
with
yeah.
that
Because,
play.
yeah, early this season, they've been very much. Yeah, they just, it's like, bro, come on, this football.
Because I
Like,
was
this
like,
part of the
yes,
game.
he
You
got
gonna
hit.
get, you gonna get,
He got
you
hit
gonna
in the
get
back of the
rocked.
head, yes, but it wasn't like he got hit on purpose. It was to like
Yeah, the flag was. Yeah, the flag was. I wouldn't have thrown the
it was a
flag, but I'm just saying
delayed
he got
flag
knocked
too, because
out.
he got hit, and then all
Oh,
of a sudden he wasn't getting up, and then the flag come up. I'm like, bro, that flag was you. You should have, if anything, you should have threw that flag at that moment when you knew it was something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But you threw that flag really after you noticed he was hurt. You wouldn't even notice. So
that's
like
crazy.
when he got hit, I was like, damn. I was like, man, he got hit. Then I know where the flag comes like a couple of seconds later. I'm like, damn, how late you gonna throw the flag? It was a football play. He's going, and like Bill says, like you can see his mouth say, he's like, he's going for the ball.
Y'all should have seen this coming with the
I was like,
Hamlin
he's going
situation.
for the ball.
Like anytime these receivers and anything happen with them, they gonna throw that flag. Like if it look bad,
Oh
they gonna
yeah,
throw it.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. Like, I think it's just they're trying to, like you were saying last night over the phone about like trying to set the tone and stuff. And it is early, but I'm like, okay, bro, how many times? Like, I saw it in a lot of the college games that I was watching early too, which I forgot to do this earlier during the college segment. Shout out to the HBCU games that I was watching. Um, Also got to give a shout out to them. The HBCU Classic up in New York. The Hampton versus Howard game was really interesting. I watched Savannah State versus Clark Atlanta. That was a good win for Savannah. Who else did I watch? Tennessee State and Gardner Webb. Tennessee pulled the dub out over in the Titan Stadium. I think they played, and there was one more. I can't think of it. Actually, I watched a bunch of them, but I won't get into those. But yeah, just shout out to the HBCU games that I watched this week. There were a lot of calls in their games too, where it was like, dude, why are you calling that? Let the kids play. It's just weird. I saw it a lot of on Saturdays, and I saw a good amount yesterday. Hopefully tonight, these games they don't get too like just calling everything. It's like, dude, how many rules do we have? You know,
yeah.
it's
But
crazy.
that game, like I said, we beat ourselves because we couldn't score. We really just could not score. And Miami, they were just running the ball on us the whole entire time. It was just a run game. And I think there was a point where I can't remember their running back. He broke free and he didn't even get touched. And it was after like we got an interception. Our rookie had got an interception, and then all of a sudden they 3 and out, and then all of a sudden come right back. Miami scores a touchdown. And I was like, damn, what a sequence of plays. We got up, and then then they really put us right back down.
Mm. Yeah, it was unfortunate, but hey, it is what it
And
is.
man, ain't you a Miami Heat fan? You should be happy. Keep clapping.
I love the 305, but
funny.
man, fuck them Dolphins, man. God,
Mm,
can't beat them. Just cannot beat them. Like,
Let's go, Tuya. 30 points in fantasy. Let's go, Tuya. 305,
this is
baby.
ridiculous.
You can't
mm,
pick and choose.
This is ridiculous. He gonna bench Joe Burrow,
mm.
but
Well,
he over his shot. This is ridiculous. Joe Burrow was his first pick, y'all, and you see what he did to him. He already benched him.
mm. Well, we'll have to see how week 3 goes into, but we also got 2 more games tonight. We got the Saints at the Panthers and the Browns at the Steelers. Which ones you got? And I don't like how they do it. I remember back in the day, they would do the doubleheader like early in the season, and they do one either at like 7, and the next one's going to be like a West Coast game. So it would be like 10 o'clock our time, but it'd still be prime time for them. But this time, they doing 2 games on the East Coast at the same time. And I'm like, what is this? I think they did it a year or 2 before. They're just starting to do that. I don't like it because it makes you choose. And I'm going to try to have both screens. I'm going to do like one on the computer, one on the TV, if they're both interesting. Which one are
Man,
y'all watching?
YouTube TV better
That's
have
my
that
question.
double screen working, man. Because if that's the case, because I got to be watching the Browns and Steelers game.
That's true.
I'm
You were
a
raised a
great
Steelers
Steelers fan,
fan.
but
That's valid.
I also got to do my preps for WrestleMania, so I'll be watching that too. So I'll be doing a double duty anyway. But it's just the fact that they got those games running at the same time, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah, no Manning cast either. I'm not a huge. I like Manning cast. I don't really go for their like actual entertainment. I go for their knowledge. Because don't get me wrong, I like the commentator. Who is it? Joe Buck and Aikman. They do a good job. But I just like to hear the Mannings talk the little bit more uh into the game more than just talking about like everything else. They're the regular commentators are going to have like an actual conversation and then break down each play. But with Manning, the Manning brothers, they go a little bit more in depth with it about like certain calls and cadences and all those different things that they're using, and they're just kind of teaching a little bit more differently. I don't really like when they bring guests on because that's a little bit different. It's not as entertaining to me, but I like to hear their football knowledge through the game, and I don't think they're doing it this week. They don't really do every week, but I think I might be pulled more. I want to say the Panthers because one, I got Olave on fantasy. Two, I want to keep seeing more Bryce Young, but then I want to keep seeing Deshaun though. So I'm gonna have to
I
flip
want to see that. Who Carolina play?
the Saints.
Yeah, I'm watching that Carolina Saints game.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know.
I
You got to
gotta
see
fight.
the
I gotta scope out the
NFC South.
competition. I gotta go check out
Yeah,
the
yeah.
odds
Yeah, that's valid. Like I watched
because I
every
want to
minute
see
of
if Derek
Dallas
Carr
versus New York.
still. If I gotta worry about Baker Mayfield and Derek Carr, I just gotta worry about Baker Mayfield.
Well, you might have to worry about Bryce depending on how he play. Oh well, y'all already handled it. I'm
We
tripping.
already beat him,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
if we split with them, I'm cool.
Well, you never. Yeah, I was about to say you could split with him because he might by the time y'all meet him again, which I feel like y'all probably gonna play Carolina. I don't know when, but I feel like y'all play Carolina later. So it's like that might be a game that maybe by then he might have his stuff together and he'll be at home too. So you
Yeah,
never know. We're gonna have to see. But yeah, that's pretty much it, y'all boys. We're gonna get up out of here. That was pretty solid, pretty good. Talked a lot of good football in the college and the professional spectrum. Also, y'all be on the lookout on Friday. We gonna drop a little episode. We talking a little bit of basketball. So I had to insert that little what was that shit? Light Mike or whatever that movie was with that little they wanna
Oh
play.
yeah,
Or whatever
good movie, good
whatever
movie.
it was.
I hate how they
Yeah,
keep
yeah,
trying to make
solid movie
remakes of
too.
all the movies, but whatever.
They redoing
I
Like
think
Mike?
they either did a sequel of it, and then I also are talking about doing like a remake of it. So I don't know.
That's
They need to
crazy.
leave stuff alone.
That one they don't need to touch that one. They don't need to touch that one. That one's not old enough yet. I feel like that one's not that. Well, then again, they redoing Haunted Mansion already
Yeah,
this week or this month, and that one's not that old either. That was like early 2000s. Like if you're really doing something from the 90s, I can't be too mad about it because I was born in 98. But if you're redoing something that was my actual childhood that I saw live, you know what I'm saying? That I like went to the movies to go see and wasn't like, oh, this movie was just something we watched growing up. Like the 90s movies, we would just watch them growing up. But if it's a movie that I remember seeing live, I'm gonna be pissed off about it.
I'm not gonna lie to
So I'm
you.
like,
I
yo,
ain't
come
even
on,
watched the
you're wild.
remake of the White Men Can't Jump.
I'm gonna be honest with you. That movie wasn't even allowed in my
I
ugly
went
style.
back
But no, I never
I
saw the
went
first
back and
one either.
watched the first
We
one,
never.
and I was like,
I knew the phrase, but I didn't know the movie. I didn't even know that was a phrase. Like I just knew that as a phrase. White men can't jump.
no.
I
I
didn't
went
know
back
that
and
was an
watched
actual
the
movie.
movie, like the first original one, and I was like, man, this movie is fucking depressing. like, I just went back.
Oh
I was like,
Lord.
yo, this is. I thought this movie would be more like lit about basketball. I'm like, I'm getting hyped about it. Like my girl ain't never seen it, so I'm putting it on, and I know I'm like, I'm watching. I'm like, yo, this shit's kind of depressing.
What was so depressing
Uh,
about it?
I guess I guess as a kid, I was only into it because it was basketball, but it was more about like how the relationships and everything. I was like, yo, I didn't.
Oh, it
Yeah, I
was
didn't
like a
know the
drama,
drama
like
behind
love
it,
interest and
like
stuff
what's
like
going
that.
on, all the stuff that was going on
Yeah,
around the movie. Like I didn't know, not like in the back behind the camera and everything. I'm talking about like in the movie. I didn't pay attention to the drama and stuff, like the relationships that they was having and all the stuff. But it threw me off, and I was like,
got
yo,
you.
I didn't
Okay,
know
that
old
makes
girl
sense.
leaves him. I thought they win a tournament and they end up being a happy couple. No, she left.
Nah, they
Mm.
ain't loyal, G.
Oh, there
Oh
it is.
Lord.
There it
Okay,
is.
thanks
Yep.
for tuning in.
And the
That's
people won't
wisdom
at
of
me.
the week, man.
The
Hey,
people
that's
won't
what's.
at me.
Hey, today send them over happy.
I just
Hey, you
hey,
crazy,
nah,
Frank.
nah, nah. So what happened at the end of
She
the
ends
movie?
up
She
leaving.
left him.
No, because like they played the tournament to get the money back, and I think she goes on like Jeopardy and wins a bunch of money, and then all of a sudden,
I'm
then
on
all of a
Frank's
sudden,
side
out
now.
of
Let me stop.
nowhere, no. They end up winning the tournament, and she goes on Jeopardy because that was her dream. She wins them, like they're still together. She wins them a bunch of money. Then out of nowhere, he's like,
Hmm.
"Oh, somebody challenges him to a basketball game, and he ain't got no money, so he bets her. He bets her money.
Oh, bro. Nope, 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 nope. I'm not with you no more,
He
brother.
bets her
Come on,
money,
brother.
but then
You
he
can't do
wins
that.
the game, so he doubles their money. But before he left,
Oh,
she was
Lord.
like, "If you go play this game with my money, I will be gone. But if you come back, if you go play this game with my money, I will not be here."
Oh,
Oh, he
that
So
chose
brother
the
when
got an
money over
addiction.
he
her.
comes back
That
with
brother
double the
got an
money, she's
addiction,
already
man.
gone. And I was like, "Dang, I do not remember her not being there."
It's about the principle. Yeah, it was about the principle of you.
You went
That's
against
crazy.
it.
Because what was her goal with that money? She probably has some because if she doing Jeopardy, she obviously is like
Yeah,
a
she was
educated,
studying the whole
But
so she
it's
time.
just
probably
The
the
had
whole
like
simple.
entire
real
movie, she was
goals with the
studying.
movie.
They wait. It's just
Wait,
they not
what was the
they
money for?
wasn't married. They was dating. So that's
The
not his
money was
money.
That's definitely true too. That's
That's not
also
his
true too.
because I
It's
money.
would say the
definitely
money
not your
was
money.
for
That
they
is
had. I
even if
thought they
y'all
had to
was
pay back a
even
mob
if y'all was
some mob
married.
people. That's what they was kind of on the front
Whoa. Pause. You telling me I owe money to the mob, but I'm sitting here trying to put dice, not shoot dice. I'm trying to bet on basketball games, and I owe money to
like
the
he
to the
plays
mob,
basketball to make money to pay them back.
and she was willing to probably pay
Yeah,
that debt too, right?
that's why she went
But you
on
gonna
Jeopardy to
risk
get the
that
money.
to go. Boy, this brother. Oh Lord, I can't pull for him.
This
I'm
why
sorry.
we be losing, cause
Yeah,
we
why
ain't
would you
content,
do that? Why would you do that, brother?
baby.
You
Just
had the
I'm like,
opportunity for her. She went and got on there. She could have. I bet you, if she's educated enough to win Jeopardy, she probably could use that money to pay for college, to fund her research in
and
grad school, whatever
I'm
she
I'm
wanted to
I'm on
do.
Najee's side because I'm just like, okay, if you willing to go against me on this, then I can't do nothing with you moving
Oh
forward.
yeah, oh yeah, especially that too. Because now it's like it's not a now. It's like you betray the trust of just doing that and you choose the opposite even after I give you the ultimate like the decision. You know what I'm saying? Like she even let you know because some people won't even let you know that part. They would just walk away from that and let you decide to think, oh, maybe this is what I did was wrong. No, she let you know what you're doing is wrong, and if you do it again, I'm out. By the
And
time you come back, you
this
still did
is
it.
wisdom of the week. It's right here. If you got, you got a good woman when she tell you, baby, you ain't got to do that. You ain't got to risk so and so. We gonna be all right. If you got one of those type of women and she not telling you go risk your life or risk, you know what I'm saying, high stakes for something, that y'all could come together, create a plan, and to solve and resolve. That's a good woman. Keep her. If she tell you, nah, go out there, go do that. Nah, you
I'm
need to
just saying, man,
run.
because as a kid, I seen that movie, and like I swore up and down, I was like, oh, it ends on a happy ending. Of That's in my mind the whole entire time. He plays the basketball game, they win the money, they go ahead and pay back the people that was chasing them, and also like this is on the white dude side. The white dude had the Latino chick, like she goes to Jeopardy and all this stuff. And I thought the whole time they get the money back, they pay the mob, and on the black man side, him and his wife and the kid get a new house, they move into a good neighborhood. That's everything. That's why the whole time I'm like, okay, that's where it ends. I didn't know that they end up basically being broken up because this motherfucker take the money to go play a damn basketball game. That's what it was. He takes the Jeopardy money to go play against, because they've already paid back the mob back. He took the Jeopardy money to go play against some two old niggas that used to be court legends, street legends. That's what it was. That
And at that point, it's not even about the money no more. You just chasing a thrill.
Because I was like,
Yeah, that's what it is.
that
That
was the
brother
whole
got
entire
no
thing.
problem.
That at the very beginning they was like, oh yeah, this is the court where these two legends used to play at, and I think around the end they're like, oh yeah, they're coming back, and they want to challenge two people. And that's when the black dude was like, "Oh, bro, this is gonna be the first time they come back. Do you got the money?" And he was like, "Yeah, I got some money." And he goes and takes her money. And she was like, "Yeah, you take this money and go play. I'm not coming back."
That boy Najee, I can't even say this Rose's recommendations because you just spoiled the whole movie.
I mean, the movie been out for years
It's
now. So
funny.
if you ain't seen White Man Can't Jump, you wasn't really looking forward to go look at it anyway. You wasn't looking to go
Yeah.
see.
I like I said, I knew the
Yeah,
phrase, but I didn't really know it was a movie. And then growing
You
up,
ain't know it was a
we ain't
movie.
watching
Hold
it.
on now.
Nah, we ain't.
You ain't know about White Man Can't Jump?
In my house, that's not no type
that's
of movie we gonna be watching. Talking
that's
about white man.
that's
Oh
a
man.
football
Let me
family.
stop. Let
That's
me stop.
football.
Oh
That's
That's
man.
my
football.
dad. Yeah, that's my dad.
Oh man.
I just finished writing a autobiography for one of my sociology classes, and I just kept talking about like my dad and how like he was very influential when it came to like black empowerment and stuff. So that just made me think of that joke when I thought about it. I was like, oh Lord, that's not no movie. You're like, we ain't watching no type of movie like that. And I'm like, all right, dad.
White
But
people get
yeah,
made fun of, black people get made fun of. Y'all get the smoke. Everybody get
oh
I
what
say
Lord.
y'all
it's a
say,
good
all the
movie. I
smoke.
mean,
Yeah.
it
All the
talks a
smoke.
little bit about race, but I mean, it's a good movie though. If you get a chance, go check it out though. It's a pretty good movie. Even though I told you about
Yeah, we'll see. I'm not a big movie guy. I'm more of a TV show guy.
it.
Right now,
I ain't talking about
I'm
you.
finishing up.
I'm talking about the
Huh?
peoples. I ain't talking about you. You grown
Oh,
man.
okay.
You do whatever you want.
You're right. It's for the people.
For the people.
Yeah, you're right.
Even though I told
It's
kind
for
of the
yeah.
majority of the movie, go watch it. It's a good thing. Because even if you listen to this episode and then go watch the movie, you're not even gonna remember anything I said anyway. So
That's true. That's true. When people spoil stuff, I'd be like, bro, give yourself some time. Go live life and forget about it, and you'll forget about
then
And
the
then
only time
what they
that,
revisit.
said.
that you're gonna
It's a
remember
good
what I
Yeah.
movie
said
to
is after you
revisit.
watch a movie, you be like, damn, Playboy Joe is right. This some shit.
This is what he was saying. Yeah, then you can
Yeah.
revisit this episode. Yeah.
Yeah. That's valid. That's valid. Right now, I'm finishing up.
White Man
I am
Can't
finishing
Jump.
up one movie. I am
Check it out.
finishing up The Great Debaters, and I got to finish Malcolm X. I've been finishing those two movies up right now this week. I got to finish them.
Oh man.
Other than that, I haven't
Oh
really
man.
watched that too much.
Shout
I
out.
might get into
Shout out my black
I don't know what
revolutionary.
else is in. I got some Rogue recommendations, but that ain't my job.
I'm not on
I
nothing.
ain't
I'm
gonna
just
do.
reading some manga, some One Piece, just One Piece.
I seen they did a live action. Are you into that?
No,
I don't
I
know
don't
much
watch
about
none
it,
of the
but
live actions. I'm a historic anime connoisseur, and all the live action historically have been trash. So this one is gonna be trash too. I'm not into that. That's not for me. Not everything is for everybody. I say that.
facts.
So no
That's
live
what I
action,
try.
not for me.
I realize that with anime, it's like if it's not the Boondocks, which some people count as anime, some people don't. I don't really care. But outside the Boondocks, I don't really. I've tried. It's just really hard to get into some of the.
It's the same thing with with like Marvel or DC when they do these
Ooh.
remakes, they a lot of time they be hit or miss. And with
Yeah.
anime remakes, especially like popular shows like One Piece, they did a Naruto live action, they did a Dragon Ball Z live action. Yeah, those bigger shows or mangas, they a
Mm-hmm.
lot of them they missed the mark.
Yeah.
It's just not for me. I don't like it.
Yeah. To each his own.
Yeah.
But anywho, all right, y'all boys, we're gonna get up out of here. Appreciate y'all for tuning into Heavily Opinionated Podcast. Make sure you check out WrestleManiacs 2. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, stay heavily opinionated. Also, my book is still out, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna start on the audio cover too soon. I'm gonna get right on it. Just tap in with that. A Brother's Betrayal. Also look out for Mood on Act 1, still out there as well. Yeah, man. Y'all got anything else y'all need to
Also,
plug in? Evil Angels. What's going on with y'all?
yeah, Evil Angels. What's going on with that, man? I'm trying.
Yeah, we ain't talk about them in a minute. How's it going over there?
Man, we under construction. We pushing it out. We pushing it.
Let's go. Yes, sir.
I'm
Yes,
I'm,
sir. While they
we rolling it out. It's gonna be definitely top of this year, top of next year. And we probably gonna have some things online that you could buy for the holiday season. So
Ooh, okay. Getting that new weather coming in, man. This new weather. I'm up here in Detroit. It's starting to get a little bit cold already. So you know what I'm saying? And you
yeah,
might have to go get the Evil
we gotta
Angels.
provide that.
Get warmed up. So y'all make sure y'all go check them out on Instagram. EVOL Angels. You know what I'm saying? Get
Also,
up
if
on
you're
there.
in the
Yes.
So
in
what
Georgia,
you got,
if you're
Naj?
down there in the Savannah area, y'all checking us out, listening to us. Hey, go ahead, go check out my girl Stacy while she's out down there at the face bar at Mystics Bar. You get your face cleaned up, get looking good, get your skin cleared up. I know we're going in the wintertime, but hey, that don't mean for your face to give up.
Shoot,
Yeah,
it's
your
still gonna
face
get
still needs to
And
look
I
good.
all
don't
cold
know.
You
and
don't want to be
crusty.
crusty. You know your lips start getting chapped.
Yeah, you don't be crusty. You don't be looking like a dusty, a
You
old
don't you
crusty
don't you
or a
don't want
dusty.
that cold air to get in
Oh,
them
you don't
pores
want
and then
that.
freeze
You
up.
don't
I don't
want
know what I'm
that.
talking
You want
about.
your face to be clean, ready to be looking good and pristine. And also, while you're
Most
sitting there getting
definitely.
your face cleaned up by Mystics Bar, go ahead. Be wearing your custom shoes and custom attire from Black Queen Masterpiece. Go ahead and check them out. Go ahead and check her out.
Yes,
Get you some
sir.
custom
Spotlight.
Yes. You
some
want them
custom
custom
pants, some
shoes? Get
custom
them
jackets.
right.
She does it all. She does it all. So go ahead. It's black owned businesses, black owned face bar, a black owned custom apparel. Go check out Black Queen Masterpiece and also check out Mystics Bar. And
And
Yes, sir.
I gotta shout out. I don't know. I'm. It's not gonna be a weekly thing, but it's a spotlight on the love. If you ever in the Bay Area, man, check out IB Berkeley. It's a sub spot in Berkeley, California. That's North Oakland basically, and they got this fire chopped cheese with the ooey gooey cheese with it's called the works. It's
Oh Lord, that's the first time I ever heard that phrase when I moved to Cali.
Yeah, the
Talking about the
works.
works.
They
I was like,
put
what is
everything
that?
in it. They
Yep,
put
everything. That's what that means.
so
Yep. Look,
onions, lettuce, tomato with the chopped cheese. It's busted. It's greasy. It's New York style, baby. With the golden curly fries. So if you ever in the Bay Area, check out IB Berkeley. They got
word.
chopped
Gotta
cheese
support all
steaks.
these
They got
businesses, y'all.
man, you could put shrimp in your cheese steak. Oh, it's kind of crazy stuff. So
Most definitely, support all these businesses we just shouted out, man. Gots to. If you rock with the Heavily Opinionated Podcast, you gonna rock with these places because we rock with them.
and we
All right.
real people too. Like we not like these other podcasters.
Oh yeah, this ain't
Go
no
outside.
AI over here.
We go outside. We touch like we shake hands. You can pull up on me like I'm a regular person. So we
Yeah,
live.
we not shouting out
don't pull up
nobody
on me
we
though.
don't know.
Yeah, you
This
don't
is
pull up
all
on me.
people we know.
I'll pull up on you. Don't pull up on me. You can pull up on
Oh
Cooley
Lord.
High, but don't pull up on me. I don't know
Yeah.
y'all like that.
Don't pull up on me, but I'm
Nah, buddy.
saying like
You already send
I'm
the
a
invitation
person.
out
I'm
there.
outside. You might not see me, but
No.
I'm out.
No, you
I'm
sent
out
the
there.
He's saying don't pull up on me, but if you catch me outside, it's okay.
Yeah, if you
Don't
just happen to see
don't
me,
don't go
if you
looking for
see me
me,
with the
but if you
hoodie
see
up,
me,
don't stop and talk to me. Because the hoodie is up for a reason. Just saying. I'm just putting it out there. I put the
what?
hoodie up so I won't be noticed. That's all.
Oh,
So hey, bro. Hey man. Hey,
incognito
bro, man.
mode.
Okay,
Hey, if you don't
incognito.
got the
Oh
motion
my
like I
lord.
do, don't get mad.
Yo.
So
Somebody stop this man. This man just
I'm
said
always, bro.
incognito. I'm using that one. But that's crazy. I'm going
Incognito.
incognito on y'all
Put
today.
you see the hoodie
Incognito.
up, the shades on, and got the crop. Got the crop.
That's
Yeah.
a Leonardo DiCaprio. Don't look at me.
Nah, I
I
call
know
that
I
Kanye mode.
know, but
No paparazzi, please. No, no, no.
yeah.
I
No
Please.
might smash.
paparazzi, please.
I'll
No
smash your
cameras,
phone.
no
Back up.
pictures. Please.
That's crazy. But all right, y'all, we gonna get up out of here. We've been chit chatting and bullshitting. Yeah, go promote all those places. You know, we rock with it. Stay heavily opinionated, all that. Yabba dabba dabba do. All right, peace.
Another one.